28-year-old Fred Funk leading the field at 9 under par. At the Olympics in boxing, American Andre Ward won the gold medal in the light heavyweight division. It's the first boxing gold for the United States since 1996. In volleyball, the United States men failed in their bid to medal as Russia took the bronze earlier today. In auto racing, Finland's Kimi Räikkönen won the Belgian Grand Prix. Michael Schumacher finished second, clinching his 7th Formula One driver's title. In NFL news, the New York Giants quarterback controversy is now over. Head coach Tom Coughlin announced that two-time NFL MVP Kurt Warner will start, backed up by #1 pick Eli Manning. That's it from New York. Next, final round coverage of the Buick Championship. Enjoy the rest of your day here on CBS.
This has been the Fidelity Investments CBS Sports Desk.
The final round is underway outside of Hartford. It has been 6 years since Fred Funk last tasted victory. He's on the Ryder Cup team, and he is looking for more. That's a birdie a moment ago over at the 5th to take a 2-shot lead. But then there's 44-year-old Corey Pavin. He hasn't won since 1996. The past U.S. Open champion has a shot here today in the final round of the Buick Championship. On a beautiful day here outside of the capital city. So folks, sit back and let's enjoy one more Sunday of golf action together as we bring it to you right here on CBS. What a year it's been. We've seen it all, from California to Connecticut, from the Torrey Pines to beneath the Georgian pines, the Carolinas, the state of Texas and all its legends. As far as the eye could see at the base of the Rockies and the Wisconsin shoreline off Lake Michigan, we have witnessed bigger-than-life performances on the greatest stages in golf. And now we come to Hartford, where Corey Pavin could author a feel-good story. So could Tom Byram and Fred Funk. It's our final chapter of the year. Who will give us one more memorable moment to celebrate in an unforgettable year of golf excellence?
CBS Sports proudly presents the PGA Tour from the Tournament Players Club at River Highlands in Cromwell, Connecticut. CBS Sports presents the Buick Championship.
And hello, friends. It is so good once more to have you with us here. We're enjoying the countryside of Connecticut on a steamy late summer weekend. And what a closing stretch the leaders will face. Is one of the best Final Four stretches you'll find in golf. They know about Final Fours around here with national championships and all with their Yukon Huskies, but here talking about Final Four in golf. That's the 15th right there, the drivable par 4, really the epicenter of all the excitement in the final round. And then back across the lake, you get the 16th, the terrifying par 3. That has ended so many hopes in years past. And then 17, if you lose it right here, you could lose the tournament. Very narrow driving area, and then up the 18th, a saddled fairway, and always come 6 o'clock on Sunday in the final round, thousands are waiting here. One of the real great scenes you find on tour. Always one of the most well-attended and celebrated sights we see all year long. We're so glad to be back with our friends from Buick as we bring you the Buick Championship in warm weather. 86 with a heat index over 90, light winds, and no rain expected here Let's go back over what we've seen already today. My man Lanny Watkins alongside. We have low rounds already in, including Jeff Sluman, who started today 1 over par and well back.
Yeah, but puts it together early, keeps it going all day, Jim. This is the 14th. Beautiful approach in here, and then this putt for birdie.
Par 70 layout at the TPC at River Highlands, and Sluman had 9 birdies today against only 1 bogey, adding up to 62. That was also the number 62 for Pavin on Thursday when he grabbed the first round lead. Has been hovering right around that lead ever since, and that's a birdie earlier today at the 3rd. Fred Funk, meanwhile, they were in fact tied at this point, Funk and Pavin, but Funk grabs it back alone with that putt for birdie at the 3rd. And then the one at 5. Boy, is he rolling it.
He is, and he's making some putts that aren't easy to make. They're long, got a lot of movement to him. His speed is perfect.
Freddie Funk a moment ago at the 6th hole.
Par 5, he put his second shot into the cross bunkers in the fairway, and a wonderful play here. Another great look at birdie.
Meanwhile, Tom Byram, 15 years since his last win at the Kemper Open. Trying to get back into it after a slow start, and that's a birdie. Again, just a moment ago over at 6. Tom Byram with that moves to 8 under. And then Funk, we saw him knock it in there close out of the fairway bunker, unable to cash in.
Making the tough ones, missed the easiest one he had all day.
Freddie Funk leads by 2 over Corey Pavin, 3 clear of Tom Byram. Jason Bone, Omar Uresti at 8. Tim Herron always plays well here at 7. Sluman, having posted the 62, is in at 273, with Hank Keeney also on the course at -7. Arjun Atwal with a solid round here today of 64, and we go out to the action live at the 7th with Corey Pavin.
Looking at about 2.5 feet for par here, and when Corey's playing well, these are basically good to him. He is so solid over these.
Been a long time, Lanny, since he's felt this kind of final round pressure.
Yeah, but he's a major championship winner, Jim, and enough wins that he is not going to forget how to win. Just get him in the middle of it. He'll be fine.
Oh, and very stellar career indeed for Corey Pavin. But again, trying to get one of these breakthrough wins here in Hartford. And hi, everybody. Jim Nance along with Lanny Watkins, and good to be with you here. I'm looking forward to all this today. We've got kind of a similar theme here. So many players in their 40s who haven't had the great thrill of victory in a long, long time, and looking for it here as you did. I remember being there to give you the trophy and the check you won.
That's mighty kind of you. I appreciate it. The money's all gone, though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Well, what does it take, though? Why are we seeing all these guys, experienced players, near the top?
Well, you've got a golf course that doesn't demand length. It demands accuracy, shot making, and good heady play. You've got to use your head around here and play the smart shot. A lot of severe slopes off the edges of the green. And I will say this, with these old guys, Freddie Funk and Corey Pavin, they don't know if they're going to get any more chances or how many chances they're going to have left. They better take advantage of it right now.
You have Fred Funk on the Ryder Cup team. We saw Stuart Sink last week win on that Ryder Cup team as well. So things are working out well for the bottom half of that lineup, if you will.
No question, making the Ryder Cup team is a big boost of confidence, and these guys are taking advantage of that confidence right now.
There's Peter Kostis. He'll be in the tower over at 15. Bobby Clampett calls it at 16. Peter Osterhaus describes the play at the 17th, and David Feherty will be following the final pairings here at the TPC at River Highlands. Actually originally designed in 1928 with a reworked Bobby Weed and some assistance there from a couple of your old colleagues out here, Lanny.
Howard Twitty and Roger Maltby were the assisters there, with tour players always involved in TPC course. 61 the course record. Triplet for Plank, Nicholson, and again Sluman today was just one off that all-time low score here. Go out to the play at the 7th. We're going to hand it off there to Peter Kostis. Peter?
Where Fred Funk has 166 yards left, has clearly missed the fairway. David Feherty, you are there.
Yeah, and this is awkward. The flag on the front, you don't want to be trying to get it close here from the rough. And he has 8 iron, which, you know, this line might be jumpy.
Absolutely cannot afford to go right.
Trying to bounce that up, doesn't need a kick to the right. Oh, boy. It's a great effort, but you can see how quick that is.
Wow, the greens are firming up. That will be interesting. To 12.
And Omar Uresti at the par 4 12. This for birdie. And what a big week for the O-Man. This by far his best finish of the year. Been leading this week in putting and showing you a bit of that magic. Uresti only 2 back. Let's go to 7.
Where the pairing partner of Fred Funk is ready to play, Tom Byram. Similar situation, David.
Yeah, an even faster lie, though. 153 yards. He has 9 iron.
Now that's headed well left.
That one will struggle to make the front edge. And it's so difficult to gauge it coming out of this rough. Coming downwind, you definitely want to be in the fairway.
And you want no part of the right side of that green today as we go to 8.
And what a rejuvenating experience for Corey Pavin. Hit every fairway and every green thus far today. This is a 5 iron at the par 3. And Lanny, it's been a while since Corey's been in this position, but what it does to his concentration and then focus to get back in the hunt.
Well,
Fred Funk off to a fast start. Lead by 2 in the final round of the Buick Championship.
Hello, I'm CJ Frawley, General Manager of Buick. Each year, the Buick Championship has proven to be one of the most popular and well-attended stops on the PGA Tour. It has a remarkable tradition of great champions, and over the past 52 years, many of the world's top golfers have emerged victorious here. But what really makes the Buick Championship special is its commitment to the local community. Through the Greater Hartford JCs, the tournament has proudly contributed more than $24 million to worthy causes in Connecticut. The JCs channel those funds to improve the lives of those most in need. On behalf of everyone at Buick, the Greater Hartford JCs, and all our dealers nationwide, welcome to the Buick Championship.
Breaker 19, this here's a rubber duck. You got a copy on me, Big Ben? Come on. And yeah, we definitely got the front door, good buddy. Mercy sakes alive, looks like we've got us a convoy.
The Buick Rendezvous Ultra. Rainier. And coming soon to Roslyn. 3 new ways to refine the road.
Breaker, Big Ben, this here's
Buick. We're not just a car company anymore.
With Celebrex, I will not give in.
I will not give in.
I will not give in to the joint pain of osteoarthritis.
With Celebrex, I can line up my putt.
I can play the long version.
With Celebrex, 1 pill lasts up to 24 hours. That's 1 pill, 24 hours. So you can live your life the way you want.
With Celebrex, I will not settle for part-time relief.
Celebrex should not be taken if you've had aspirin-sensitive asthma or allergic reaction due to aspirin or other arthritis medicines or certain drugs called sulfonamides. In rare cases, serious stomach problems such as bleeding can occur without warning. Tell your doctor if you have kidney or liver problems.
If you're suffering from pain, inflammation, or stiffness, maybe you should stop trying to manage it on your own. Ask your doctor about Celebrex.
With Celebrex, I will not give in.
I will not give in.
Take control with the proven strength of Celebrex.
The future is playing now on the Nationwide Tour.
Someone out there is missing a wife.
The Buick Championship is sponsored by Buick. We're not just a car company anymore. Celebrex. Talk to your doctor about Celebrex. And by Shell. Experience the waves of change at Shell.
Back at 7 now. Tom Byram, excuse me, trying to chip for his birdie. Not too bad from there, but he'll have some work left. And earlier, this was Fred Funk.
Well, you can see he wanted to have another go out of the minute left to play. That's going to be a difficult 4 or 5 footer down the hill.
David, how are the speeds of the greens today?
You know, the breeze is a significant factor out here. You got to putt into the wind. It really is. It's blowing quite hard out here. So that's really the main factor in judging it.
Now, to save his par. Ooh, 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 ooh. A 3 whoopsie from the back of the green for Fred Funk, and earlier today we talked to him about how he would approach this round.
Just kind of manage your game really well out there, and what's really changed is the condition of the green. Some of them are really firm and other ones are a lot softer and receptive to the shots. So you got to kind of remember, or try to remember, that how they played the day before and take that into account.
There you see 9 runner-up finishes. He's being so close so many times. Although he's got about a 500 batting average when he's had the lead going into the final round over his career. Now Tom Byram to save par. Ooh, the early walk, but it goes in. Tom Byram -8. Back even par for the day. Let's go forward to 8.
And Corey Pavin now to tie the lead. Trying the Mongolian reversal and the 2-shot swing. Won't be. Pavin calls the TPC here a thinking man's course, and the reason why so many players are over 40 are playing so well here. You don't need to bomb it. And certainly when you look at the leaderboard, those are the names, the straight hitters.
In a time when men were gentlemen, a handshake was a promise, and timeless style was a way of life. 3 pals reigned supreme.
Got the action, just lay it on the line, and I'll bet you 10 you be mine.
The Rat Pack, Boys Night Out. 19 must-have tunes from the inseparable, unstoppable Frank, Dino, and Sammy on one CD.
Hey there, mister, build a fence around your sister. It's the Boys Night Out.
So get your gang together for a Boys Night Out.
Got the feeling I can do anything. Yes, I can.
Because when she wins you over, something's gotta give.
Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give.
This is the only CD you'll need for the best night out ever.
But it was just one of those things.
And the only studio trio recording of the Rat Pack. We open in Venice.
We open in Venice. We next play Verona.
The Rat Pack, Boys Night Out, just $18.98 plus $4.95 shipping and handling. Call now and receive a set of Rat Pack postcards free with your paid order.
There is nothing like a dame, nothing in the world.
Boys Night Out features just the right mix of cool.
Smile and say it was all
and the right mix of hot.
Here goes, get the fights out and the quarrel.
The Rat Pack, Boys Night Out, 19 essential songs from Frank, Dino, and Sammy, all on one CD.
You can't love them all. You can't.
So let the Rat Pack take you on a Boys Night Out.
That the guy's only doing it for some dog.
To order the Rat Pack Boys Night Out, call the number on your screen or send $18.98 for one CD plus $4.95 shipping and handling to the address shown.
What the boys are out after, the girls are out after too.
Call now for rush delivery.
It's a different game out here. The U.S. Open on CBS.
Well, Tuesdays this fall, CBS takes you inside the clubhouse. It's a new drama, stepping into the big leagues with Well, there's Jeremy Sumter, Christopher Lloyd, Dean Cain. It's Clubhouse, and it's coming Tuesdays this fall on America's most watched network. Fred Funk, 1-stroke lead. That's it over Corey Pavin and Omar Uresti. Byram and Fisher are 2 behind. We send it to the 8th.
And Tom Byram
with the 5-iron.
Best known as man who possesses a swing that most similar to Ben Hogan. And he feels that the swing is better than it's been in 10 years. Up ahead at 9.
Corey Pavin, 406 yards, dogleg left to right, holds way around to the right side. And a little gentle fade will be perfect. Corey won't be challenging in the corner of the dogleg. Longer hitters have an opportunity to go across the right-hand bunker, really shorten the hole, but obviously a little more dangerous. Corey right down the middle. Back to the 8th.
And Fred Funk,
also with 5-iron.
And this is where he stumbled yesterday. This part of the course. Bogeyed 7 for the 2nd day in a row. Oh, and that settles in the deep rough. That's going to be a nasty little chip shot. And let's take it back to 1998 in Annandale. Fred Funk's last victory. Wife Sharon, and there's son Taylor. And how much Fred would like to capture a victory here going into his first Ryder Cup appearance in just 3 weeks. That kind of confidence is what he would need at the age of 48. Let's go up to number 9.
And Hunter Mahan having a tough day. 22-year-old, second youngest player on tour after Kevin Na. And Hunter lost in the playoff last week in the Reno Tahoe tournament. 65 yesterday, but a slow start for this 4th round. And the pin all the way back right, 143 yards. And the pin up on a little ledge. And the danger is playing aggressively. There you can see how far back the hole is cut. Play aggressively, easy to slip through the back and have an awkward chip shot. 3 over for today's round. Stop now. 9 on for him. Chance for a birdie. 3 over for the round when the average score for the field so far is less than 70. Back to the 8th.
How's the lie, David, for Funk?
It's actually a very good lie. This is very holdable.
It's a good break.
Get in. Good job, Fred.
Fred's pretty solid on those, so it looks to be a par save for Funk. And Fred's tendency is to get a little bit negative on himself. I felt that was the case yesterday. He can rule off some bogeys in a row. So he's working on that. Good self-talk. Let's go to 9.
And Corey Pavin ready to play his second shot. He birdied the second hole. His only birdie of the round, moving to 9 under. He birdied that hole. Hunter Mahan double bogeyed it. 45 years old, turned pro in 1982, 14 wins. Let's see if his obviously short hitting off the tee relative to most of the players on tour these days, whether he can still win. Back to 8.
Byram for birdie. And like Pavin, not getting it there. But a solid 3 it'll be for Tom. He really is one of those kind of pros who lets his clubs do the talking. He'll stay fairly quiet and reserved. That's really the style of play. He's a get it in the fairway on the green kind of player. In fact, he's been near the top this week in greens in regulation and fairways hit. So par for Byram. Remains 2 back. Fred Funk. David Fairty, you know, Fred, I think with his relationship with his caddy Mark Long, it's a real positive relationship for Fred, because when they get out on the golf course, they do tend to keep it light, and I think that would be a very important thing for Fred to try to do today. Has he been able to keep it light?
Yeah, he has. You know, he's got really one of the best attitudes out here. Mark Long, 2.5 years with him, and Freddie really has played well in that period. And the period before, as I recall.
So an up and in for Funk, save par at the 8th. But he has had a bit of a balky putter here at 6. This for birdie at the par 5. Ooh, that was severe pull. And at 7, after leaving the approach putt this far short, this for par. So a pull and a push. That'll rattle the cage a little bit. And Lanny Watkins, when you do something like that, you really got to put in a bunch of positive thoughts into your self-talk going into the next one.
Well, you have to, Bobby, but it's tough when you missed them on both sides, because now you don't know what's coming out of your barrel next time.
Let's go to 13.
And Omar Uresti, who is making a charge today, may come to a grinding halt here at the par 5. That would have to be his 3rd shot. Couldn't hit his drive that far. Players can't see much of the Connecticut River. Those trees are thick to the left side of 13. Jason Bone at the 17th. Chance for a birdie. More than a chance, isn't it? We'll give it to him. Moves to 8 under par. Well ahead of the leaders. 5 under for today's round. Back to the 9th and Corey Pavin. For a birdie. He's part of this hole every day. Easy par 4 on the course. All birdies, pars and bogeys. The first 3 rounds, not one single double bogey. So pretty straightforward hole. Pavin stays at 9 under. Going to the turn. And steady. You might need a few more birdies on the second 9. Back to the tee. Tom Barham.
Well, he carries 1, 3, 4, and 7 woods. His longest iron is a 4. So he should have a wood to put it in there somewhere.
He has an adaptable 7 wood then. And safely done for him also, not challenging the corner of the dog leg. And hitting a lot of fairways those first 3 rounds, only missing a couple so far today. And that's been the story for most of the leaders. Fred Funk. Zach Johnson was very good through 2 rounds hitting fairways. Now Funk. And these players, if they can't challenge the bunker on the corner, carry the ball 275, 280 yards, they just play the dog leg, go to the left, set up the short iron approach. Now Fred Funk trying to hang on as a 54-hole leader, 10th time, 4 wins, and his last 4 chances he's not held on to win. And the average score in the final round 70.55. Well, it's a par 70 here, over par today.
Have a better swing.
Probably won't do it. To 16.
And here's Hod Fisher out of Pleasanton, California. His second shot at what has been the most difficult hole in River Highlands this whole week. The par 3, only 167 yards, and Fisher has reeled off 3 consecutive birdies. Omar Uresti going back after hitting his second shot at the par 5 in the hazard. And Usti never found his ball back there.
So this charge is going to come to a halt here at a hole where players are thinking birdie, perhaps eagle. Well, not so many eagles into the wind today. Might be more difficult for players to find the green in 2. Hunter Mahan at the 9th. For a birdie. And well done after the very slow start. Get it going, and look at that. Horrid start, a couple of birdies. Again to 16.
And Fisher trying to keep the momentum alive. This for par. Oh. That was a pull. He knew it. Plays out at Castlewood Country Club there in Pleasanton, where he went to San Francisco, University of San Francisco. And the aerial views today provided by the Outback Steakhouse airship, the Bloomin' Onion 1. Mitch Johnson again there controlling the Outback Steakhouse blimp, and it doesn't go very fast. Well, let's go back to the trials and tribulations of Omar Uresti.
So in the hazard for 4, taking a drop for 5. Best he can do is 7. After playing 12 bogey-free holes, 4 birdies, the rest pars, and just exactly what he didn't want. Needed a chance for a birdie, and we'll be back to Omar, see what he can do from there. We'll be back with more action from the Buick Championship right after this message and word from your local station.
This is Phil. He's had 2 careers, 10 jobs, not counting his acting stint, 5 different homes, 7 mortgages, 2 marriages, 4 kids, 8 grandkids and counting, 6 dogs, and 1 nagging desire to someday sail across the Atlantic. Reaching retirement is no small achievement. We'll help you make the most of it. Introducing Fidelity Retirement Income Advantage. Before you retire, call today for a free retirement income planning consultation at 800-FIDELITY.
Any slip-up could cost them.
I'm packing it!
The Amazing Race, CBS Tuesday.
Sorry, we're from Amsterdam. We didn't know low-carb beer was supposed to suck. Great tasting, low-calorie, low-carb Amstel Light. Quite possibly the world's perfect light beer.
You've been waiting all year for this moment to arrive. The one and only clearance at your Tri-State Lincoln Mercury dealer. Get model year-end savings on every Lincoln and Mercury, from our award-winning SUVs to the legendary Town Car and the spacious Grand Marquis. Get 0% APR for 60 months or up to $6,000 cash back on select Lincoln and Mercury vehicles. See your Tri-State Lincoln Mercury dealer now for best selection.
Other low-carb beers have their place. We just don't recommend drinking them. Great tasting, low-calorie, low-carb Amstel Light. Quite possibly the world's perfect light beer.
Jets Eagles preseason football on CBS 2, Friday night at 7.
You hear the primal calls. It's time for Survivor Vanuatu. You've been wondering when we see the new castaways, the new site, all the new twists and turns, the new adventure will premiere on Thursday, September 16th here on CBS, America's most watched network. As we go out to the 9th.
And Tom Byram's second shot.
137 yards coming downwind. This green very firm. It's a pitching wedge.
And respecting how far that hole is cut back right. Safe angle. And this was earlier Uresti's 5th shot at the par 5 13th.
Sit.
And sit. It won't, and that's going to be a very difficult chip shot. The hazard in play again. That shot played earlier. Now we're live with Omar Uresti. He was back at the qualifying tournament last December, shot 64 in the last round to clinch getting his playing status back. Been on the Nationwide Tour for a couple of years, having lost his card on the PGA Tour. Well, this is a tough one. There he is. He was on his way to a super round. Plenty of time to go back to the 9th and funk.
Oh, also a pitching wedge, hoping for the big bounce.
And look at that, killed it in the slope.
It's this upper right portion. They're just afraid that if they're too aggressive, carry past the pin, they're going to be in trouble. Back to Uresti in the 13th. And he, I think, felt that going up the flag, if he just miscued it just a fraction, it goes off the front of the green and into the hazard again. To 10.
Corey Pavin.
On the 10th at 462 yards, the longest par 4 on the back. This from 185, and Corey again playing shots. Here he's chasing it in, using the slope in the right front. That's well done. Always playing shots. Never hits anything dead straight.
Back to 9.
Tom Barham birdie try.
Well, Fred Funk, Fisty. Right to lefter, downhill in the last portion.
Excuse me, David. Fred Funk, a long way away. It's an awkward back right hole position, isn't it, David? Even with a short iron.
Yes, it really is, and it slopes away from the players, which leaves Tom Barham really a very awkward putt. The whole green seems to slope from back to front, apart from this little shelf on the back right-hand side.
It's about protecting the one-shot lead. Uresti's score is going to change. He won't be 9 under. Pulled out nicely yesterday. Missed the 1 bogey at the 7th. Nice birdie 2 at the 5th, the long par 3. Tom Barham.
Well, he's got it up on the top level, and the first part of this putt will almost certainly be left to right, but it may well straighten out at the end. Perhaps even go the other way. So an awkward one.
You have to think that these players would have anticipated this hole position while they were playing their practice rounds, would have had a few practice strokes around this area of the green. There's Wynn. Back in the 80s. And it was the Kemper Open, now the Booz Allen tournament that Adam Scott won in this year. A long time ago. .399 tournaments since that win for Tom Barham. And he stays 2 behind Fred Funk with 9 holes to play. Yeah, just even par going out, 1 bogey, 1 birdie, and a flashback to his last victory, 1989, TPC at Apple. Yes. Looks about 12 years old then, doesn't he? Give and take. 399 events since that 1 win on the PGA Tour, and only 1 top 10 this year. Remember, it's a 3-way tie at the top of the Buick Classic. Sergio won the playoff. He was 4th. And back to the 13th, Uresti for a double bogey. He drove left off the tee. Maybe he was too ambitious. A second shot from a fairway bunker, in trouble. Then the hack from the trees. Now, Todd Fisher, who finished high up here last year, 7 under, over water with his second shot. From 141, and it's an inviting front left hole position. They've got a little bit of a backstop for their short iron approaches. 18.
And Bone has come to the 18th here at 8 under par. 2 off the lead, looking for 1 more birdie.
A lot of problems on the backside. If he can get this down, you never know.
Uresti finished up triple over at the 13th. Bone is going to post 8 under. He has certainly a flair for the dramatic. When he was at the University of Alabama, he actually made a $1 million hole-in-one in a shootout contest and gave up his eligibility, his amateur status at Alabama, and took the $1 million. Played the Canadian Tour, did Jason, and once shot 58, 13 under par in a tournament there to win on the Canadian Tour. Here at 65 today. What promises to be his best finish to date. Here is rookie season on the big circuit, and we head back over to the 10th. You were espousing all of the great qualities of Corey and his shot-making ability, and I've always thought that this hole, if it's not the toughest test at River Highlands, you know, it's right up there, and it's always Really been a shot maker's hole, hasn't it, Lanny?
Well, it really has. You have to drive it straight off the tee. You've got actually a tree in the fairway to negotiate, so some tough obstacles there. Then this green is long and narrow, but if you can chase up the right side like Corey did, you can make it work.
Just to tie the lead. Oh, yes.
Seen that plenty of times.
Corey Pavin joins Fred Funk at the top of the leaderboard. 8 years since his last win at Colonial. 14 times in his career, Corey Pavin has triumphed. But it has been a long dry spell. Back on the tee, Fred Funk.
Anywhere in the fairway is fine, and Fred has split the center with that one. Beautiful shot. Just chases by that tree on the left-hand side we were talking about.
It's not unusual there, Lenny.
No, Fred leads the tour and fairways hit year after year.
Fred Funk may not know it, but Corey Pavin has just joined him at 10 under par. They share the lead.
Peaceful, powerful. Rainier. It's a brand new Buick. Available with OnStar.
Some people like their toys loud and powerful. So do we. Demo the Iomatic driver and experience the new sound of power.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Roddick, that is 1 seat on the flight there and
2 on the return flight. Thank
you. Next time you start on your way, think about the gasoline you choose. Introducing Shell V-Power, our new premium grade gasoline. It's our most advanced fuel ever. With more than 5 times the required cleaning agents, it's specially formulated to actively clean your engine as you drive. You have enough to deal with out there. Your gasoline can make a difference if it's new Shell V-Power.
McGregor Bobby Grace putters, used by over 50 PGA Tour pros. Legally speaking, we can't tell you who. Just watch every Sunday afternoon to see what a winner looks like.
Monday.
Go for the gold.
Days all new with U.S. gold medal gymnast Carly Patterson. Plus music from LL Cool J. Days all new all this week.
This fall on CBS, Rob Lowe is the small town doctor. And that small town being a Vegas casino. It's Rob Lowe, Dr. Vegas, Fridays this fall on CBS. I think they're already talking about a spin-off series, Lanny. Dr. Reno. Let's go to 11.
And a little cutoff 9-iron from 158 yards from Corey Pavin. Trying to chase it back up on that upper level. Not quite. Boy, Corey Pavin, 5 of the last 7 years. If it weren't for his 10-year U.S. Open exemption, he would have lost his card to 12.
And here's red hot Tim Herron for birdie. Man ranks 9th this year in final round scoring average, and he's opened up with birdies at 10 and 11 to draw to a stroke of the lead. So long hitting Herron in the hunt to 10.
There it is, the 10th hole, actually playing below par today, and that's rather unusual, albeit just a fraction. Here's Tom Byram on that right side.
Yeah, the flag is very accessible today. It's in the left front center of the green, so all the players have to do is land it somewhere 5 yards short in the right center, and it will kick right down towards the flag. Tom's in excellent position here.
He's 196 yards back. Just doesn't look absolutely certain about the club here.
Well, and you better be here, David, because, I mean, even though the shot is relatively simple as far as looks, if you're not sure about your club, the danger around this green can be very daunting. It can get you in all kinds of trouble, especially left.
Well, they don't go left. Will sometimes make you go right.
Yes, it will. And
that needs a big kick.
And he got it.
Very cunning.
Very cunning. I wouldn't have thought to have played it like that, David.
If he flies it another 5 or 10 yards on that line, it'll actually kick right.
Look how long it's been for these three, Funk and Pavin, almost identical numbers since the last victories. And Tom Byram, the 399 events dates back all the way to the 89 Kemper Open at Avenel, winning at another TPC course. TPC here at River Highlands, and we'll send it over to the 12th.
And Tim Herron, no problem with these for par. Oh, not so soon. Really accelerated that putter through the ball to 10.
Fred Funk.
7-iron.
Would love to land it right where Tom Byram's ball is.
180 yards on a very, very good line.
Oh, this is a good one here. Wow, what a shot.
That's well done. Kept it right at the hole, what you had to do, and left it right underneath. Pretty simple look at birdie right there on a very difficult hole.
Herron finished up with bogey over at 12 after the lip out. Let's go to 17.
And Todd Fisher. Third place alone last year and going well today. 117th on the minus. He really needs it. Over to 15.
This was earlier, and this is a preview of what the 15th hole might offer for our leaders. This was Zach Johnson.
16 feet.
How about this? 4 feet 10 inches. Now, for the first eagle in 2 days here. Yeah. Wow. You hit it 4 feet 10 inches. You'd think you'd have the hard part over with. So he needs that now for a birdie to get to -6. Now over at 11, this is Hunter Mahan. Again, playing downhill, 158 yards.
Good looking there.
This is a wonderful effort from Hunter Mahan and a good recovery from a bogey start. Now back at 15. That's Matt Gogol. Zach Johnson did go on to make his 3. The 15th hole technically has been the hardest fairway to hit, but that's because guys aren't trying to hit it. They're trying to hit the green. Hit the green, they credit you with a missed fairway. That doesn't seem right, does it, Lenny?
That doesn't seem right, Peter. You ought to get a bonus points for that.
I would think. Now back to Corey Pavin. This putt should move slightly to his left, but everything kind of breaks towards the river, which is to his right. Corey Pavin currently tied at -10. This to get the lead by himself. Well, we're going to have to see. There's several putts now that Corey has left short, and that is generally a sign of a little bit extra tension in the grip. We've shown you the graphics of how long it's been for any one of these players to win. Plus, Corey's been working on some swing changes, so we'll see how those things hold up down the stretch. Back to 10.
All right, at 10, Tom Byram, and he's got Fred Funk up there in tight. Inside of 10 feet, I would say, for a birdie. Bone posting is 65, 62 earlier by Jeff Sluman.
Ooh, that putt looked like it had to move left. Everything slopes off that right hill.
Went the other way.
And it just hung up there on him. Yeah, that's an excellent roll.
To 15.
Matt Gogol, currently 118th on the money list. This is the time of the year where those players around 100 and higher start looking at their schedule, trying to figure out what they have to do to finish in the top 125. And what they've got to do is make more putts like that. Boy, less than 5 yards off the edge of the green and you walk away with 4. That feels like a bogey. Back to 10.
And here's Fred Funk for birdie.
Might have had a good look at his playing partner's putt here. And he did.
Hey, move aside, Corey Pavin. Pugnacious 48-year-old Fred Funk takes the lead again, alone by 1. He was, in fact, once a boxer as a teenager. He fought at a boys club in Maryland, the same one that produced a guy named Sugar Ray Leonard. Let's go to the 18th, and here comes Todd Fisher. Oh, it's been a struggle here the last 3 holes, Lanny.
He has, and that's a big mistake right there. We've seen a lot of people pepper this flag here at 18.
Right, meanwhile, back over at 10, Byram for par. There you go. But it's Fred Funk walking off this green. The quickest beat in his step up the hill to the 11th on the heels of a beautiful birdie at one of the hardest holes, the 4th hardest of the week, the 10th. But meanwhile, 13 we go.
After a fantastic second shot from just under 250 yards, Tom Pernice for an eagle. Starts the second 9, birdie, 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 eagle. He is in double figures, just 1 behind Funk. Shot 36 on the opening 9. 1 bogey, no birdies, but a brilliant start to the back 9 for Pernice. And a lot of excitement starting that second 9. Fred Funk reacting to the threats at the top. Beautiful putt.
In our fast-paced world, it's important to take a moment to relax. Immerse yourself in one of the world's most inspiring musical experiences. Introducing the most relaxing classical album in the world ever. A listening experience perfectly suited to your world. Surround yourself with the tranquility and classical grandeur of Bach, Beethoven, and Mozart. This once-in-a-lifetime treasury is performed by today's greatest classical artists. The most relaxing classical album in the world ever. Over 2.5 hours of the world's best-loved classical themes. To order, call now. This outstanding collection has been digitally mastered to further enhance this definitive listening experience. The most relaxing classical album in the world ever. On 2 CDs or 2 cassettes. Call now to order yours.
To order the most relaxing classical album in the world ever, use your credit card and call the number on your screen, or send check or money order to the address shown. Rush delivery available. Call now.
Your ultimate online sports experience. For the fastest scores, stats, and first-rate fantasy sports, go to CBSSportsline.com.
Golf fans, take note. If Michelle Wie has her way, she will become the biggest name in golf, and she will be profiled tonight on 60 Minutes. send it over to the 11th tee.
Again, 158 yards. Fred Funk, David.
And that's a 9-iron.
That seems to be the club du jour. Wind blowing from the right.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, I tell you what, the way they cut the pin so close to the edges on the PGA Tour these days, if you can get it between the pin and the edge, you generally have an easier putt. Let's go to 18.
This was earlier. Todd Fisher.
Pretty straightforward bunker shot, and that's well done. Trying to save a terrific round of golf.
He'll need to put a better stroke on it than what we've seen the last couple of holes. Now here he is live for par. What a turnaround day it has been for him, Lanny. He opened with a double today. Doubled the first, and then 7 birdies until he gave one back at 16. Had a close look for birdie at 17 that failed to drop. And that's a good stroke.
Yeah, and it's nice to have that in, not only for your confidence, but, you know, good finish, and probably sets him up to be exempt for next year.
He was 3rd here last year behind Jacobson and Riley, so good playing, Todd Fisher. To the 12th.
Okay, Corey Pavin, second shot to the par 4, into the wind, 165, right-hand hole location. Think he's going to cut this little baby 5-iron. He got it. Oh, look out left and long. Well, let's take a look at the Eagle Eye Outback Steakhouse look of the 12th hole, the par 4. Off the tee, that's the garden area in the blue. Second shot to this meandering smallish green with a hole cut today in the player's back right. Difficult par 4 because of the narrow landing area and the smallish green. And here's Zach Johnson up ahead at the par 3, 16th. Man had only missed 1 fairway off the tee through the first 2 rounds, and that is outstanding. Closest we've seen to any player, and they're fighting for that beautiful Buick LaCrosse for a hole-in-one.
Now we're back at 11 with Tom Byram, and I can report that Hunter Mahan, after that wonderful shot he did hit in there, he did make his birdie, so he got back to +1, and he's 125th on the money list, so he's right on the bubble. As well, Zach Johnson made his birdie at 16. David, tell me about this putt.
Well, I don't think I've seen a putt here over 20 feet that has a single break in it. This one looks like it's going to come from the right and then maybe straighten at the end. Look at that.
That's the influence of that Connecticut River down there. Almost all the putts, 11, 12, 13, 14, tend to favor the river. You'd think it's going to go with the contour you see with your eyes, but it's kind of like being on the slope. There's the 12th hole. To 16.
And here's a grinding Matt Gogol. No top 10s this year, and working his way near the top of the leaderboard that would secure him a top 125 finish for the year. Allow him to go back home to Kansas City and enjoy some time off. Let's go to 11.
And Fred Funk's chance to go to -12. Yeah, that got bouncing off to the right off the get-go. So a couple of pretty decent shots, and birdies go begging. So Fred Funk, 2 under for the day, still has a 1-shot lead over Corey Pavin and Tom Pernice Jr., who's up ahead.
Buick, official car of the PGA Tour, presents the Summer of Champions, a model year-end sales event. Rainier, Buick's luxury SUV,
with the serenity of quiet tuning. Rich leather-appointed seating, standard. The power of an available V8. Now you're the winner with $5,000 closeout cash on every new 2004 Rainier. Summer of Champions at your Buick dealer.
Coming through!
It's different for people with acid reflux disease because you know the heartburn's gonna nail you. And over time, that acid could shred your esophagus. Next time, Nexium, the healing purple pill. For many, one prescription Nexium daily means 24-hour heartburn relief. More importantly, it also heals acid reflux erosions, and healing is such a great feeling. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. Talk to your doctor. The most common side effects of Nexium are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Don't let acid reflux eat at you. Next time, ask your doctor about Nexium.
I'll take that.
Because healing is such a great feeling.
Right now, when you purchase a set of easy-to-hit Idea irons from Adams Golf, not only do you get the #1 hybrid irons in golf, you also get this handsome stand bag free to transport that set from one great shot to the next. How's that for an idea?
I'm 9 now, but when I was 8, I'd do things I wasn't supposed to. You don't talk when people are putting. Always repair the ball mark.
You keep your own score, so you have to know how to add.
And you gotta tell the truth.
Put a golf club in kids' hands and watch them grow.
If you do certain things that you're not supposed to, you get a shot added to your score. You don't want to do those things.
At over 150 facilities across the country, the First Tee teaches kids values that will impact their communities and the rest of their lives.
If it wasn't for golf, I'd be like my friends, a couch potato.
Corey Pavin. Whoa. My goodness. Thinking that fringe would gather the ball. It didn't. And back on the tee, our leader, Fred Funk. Oh, he's swinging beautifully in balance. If you don't see the lean, you know it's in the fairway. Because only Freddie, he starts leaning when the ball's about 10 feet offline. He was working in a little practice round with Mark Long and his son Taylor, a neighboring golf course. Recorded a hole-in-one in front of his son Taylor. Jimmy.
All right, good stuff. And you can get complete golf information from the Buick Championship with full field leaderboard results, individual scorecards. You can read all about it clicking on PGA Tour at CBSSportsline.com. And I encourage all the football fantasy players also to go to that site in a hurry. 14th hole. Here's Tom Pernice. What a move he's making, Lanny.
This from 162. Ooh, and gets a pretty good little kick. Tough pitch left there. Just depends on the lie. Here's a guy in great position. If he could post a score right now, those fairways are going to look tighter than ever to those guys behind him.
Back to the 12th.
But he's got a group of veterans that I don't think are going to be too bothered by the tight fairways. These guys all striping it. Tom Byram again hitting another fairway. So the leaders are showing us some great stuff. Great shot making. Funk by one. Final round of the Buick Championship.
It can think for itself, strike fear in the hearts of hackers, and laugh in the face of disaster. It can transform itself, grow into whatever the future demands, work virtually anywhere, and propel entire companies, industries, and economies forward. Can your network do this? It can with the world's networking company, AT&T.
This is Richard and Nancy. They've been neighbors, best friends, high school sweethearts, separated by 3 continents, reunited by chance, married in Germany, settled in Seattle, adoptive parents, doubles partners, and currently, business partners. Reaching retirement is no small achievement. We'll help you make the most of it. Introducing Fidelity Retirement Income Advantage. Call today for a free retirement income planning consultation at 800-FIDELITY.
The thrill of white-knuckle driving obviously came from someone with white knuckles.
Great day, let's bring her in.
Formula One inspired Michelin Pilot Series high-performance tires.
Or not.
Michelin, because so much performance is riding on your tires.
Well, I'm excited because I get an opportunity to do something that I like to think that I do very well, and that's talk.
Shannon Sharp on the NFL Today.
Thursday, September 16th, the real games begin on CBS. Survivor Vanuatu, where the women take on the men. And that's just the beginning.
I've got what it takes.
I'm gonna use them and abuse them.
That doesn't scare me at all.
Most good-looking people are pretty dumb.
I'm gonna have to watch my back.
Friends don't stab you in the back.
I mean, I will be fighting until the very last second.
I am just so pumped up.
Don't miss the premiere of Survivor Vanuatu, CBS Thursday, September 16th.
Here's the lineup Monday night on CBS. Still standing, yes dear. Raymond, 2.5 Men, CSI Miami, and The Late Show. David Letterman has got Carly Patterson as a guest this week. All new Dave, all right here on America's Most Watched Network. Back to the 12th.
And second shots for our final group, Fred Funk. David?
It'll be Tom Byram up first, 162 yards. 6 iron. A fairly stiff little breeze here. Trying to cut it in there. A little left of the hole, but a nice swing.
Yeah, very confident looking swing. The hole that has troubled him, he made triple bogey here in the first round. Earlier, you remember Pavin chose to putt it from well off the green, behind the green, and this for par. What a comeback. And the fist pump. We haven't seen that for a while. Fired up. And now Funk second.
153 yards. He has 7 iron.
Is that sweaty palms there, David, or what happened?
It is so humid out here. If it weren't for the breeze, boy, it'd be a grease spot.
Very important for the players to keep their wrists dry. Oftentimes they'll go to the towel. All kinds of tricks. They'll soak their hat in water, towel around the neck, anything.
You should keep your head in it.
Uh-oh.
He was pushing with 7 iron to get it there. Just let it get up in the air.
That's the problem. When you go into the wind, the harder you hit it, the higher it goes. You don't get any yardage on it. Let's go to 14.
And this right here can get your attention. Tom Pernice. This was earlier. Oh.
Played a pretty aggressive shot there. Got it to come out soft. Live must have been okay because he carried that much further than I thought he would.
Now this is live. 5 under through his first 4 holes on the second 9, and he doesn't give anything back right here.
That's a tough hole location. 4 is going to be a good score there by anybody.
Look at the ages for the leaders here. 48-year-old Fred Funk hasn't won 6 years. Corey Pavin at 44. It's been 8 years. Tom Pernice, a winner at the International a couple of years back. All of his wins have been for Pernice in the month of August. He won at the Buick Open in Flint and won at Castle Pines in the International. Jason Bone, 31-year-old rookie, is in at 8 under. Matt Gogol, Tom Byram at 43, Woody Austin at 40, and Lanny Watkins, when he won here, his last tour win was 42. We'll be right back to the Buick Championship.
Will you have college tuition taken care of here or here? Mutual funds from the Hartford. For people who are always thinking ahead. Ask your advisor.
Sports writer, TV host, family man. Why can't everyone be like Tony Kleinman?
You're not as well-rounded as I am. Don't make a fat joke.
Listen up, CBS Mondays this fall. Rob Lowe, Joe Pantoliano, Dr. Vegas, Fridays this fall on CBS.
Hi, Mr. Stadler.
Hey, Jess. How you
Welcome
doing?
back.
Nice to see you again. Thanks. What do you think?
The 97 Robert Mondavi Reserve is the smart play.
If you're gonna go for it, get the
porterhouse, the Walensky salad, cream spinach, and then it's just a little layup to the carrot cake.
Number 6, serrated edge. Perfect.
What are you doing tomorrow morning at 7:52?
Smith & Walensky, a steakhouse to end all arguments.
300 to the water. Don't put it in the drink.
This is the one sales event you've been waiting for. The Ford Authorized Clearance. The one chance to get the best deals on the best-selling line of SUVs on the planet. Like the legendary Ford Explorer. Smoother riding and more powerful. Now only $289 a month. That's $289 a month for a well-equipped Explorer XLT 4x4 with just $559 down. This is the one sales event you don't want to miss. The Ford Authorized Clearance. This is the one.
Here come the Yankees! Yankees Devil Rays, September 7th on CBS 2. The Buick Championship is sponsored by Buick. We're not just a car company anymore. The Hartford Mutual Funds, for people who are always thinking ahead. And by IBM, making on-demand business a reality for companies around the world.
Earlier, our leader Fred Funk, his third to the par 4.
Really tricky. Throw it up there, landed on the downslope. Very hard to stop, but that wasn't a bad effort.
No. And the difficulty is the sun bakes the areas around the green. The ground can get quite firm. And on those little chips, the bounce of the club can come into the ball. And live for birdie, Tom Byram.
This one should come from his left, maybe just outside the hole.
Can take an aggressive stroke.
Oh.
That was the leave. So Byram will hold par at 12. Remain 3 back, at least for the moment. To 17.
And Zach Johnson, chance for another birdie. And doing so well, coming back from a 73 yesterday, which was a horrible score. He and Hank Keeney, the only players in the last 20 groups to shoot over par. 73 was very disappointing, but great play today. Back to 12.
Laney Watkins, I think, is a big putt for Funk.
I think it's big for his confidence, Bobby. So far, he hasn't been able to convert some of these par putts.
That was a good stroke and a misread. Nothing wrong with the execution. And Freddie needs to program some positive thoughts there and tell himself, well done. It just didn't go. And the result, we now have a 3-way tie atop the lead. Let's go to 17.
Matt Gogol's second shot at the 17th, and anything just left of the pin kicks on down and leaves a very, very difficult chip up a slope and across the slope once it gets on the green. Back over to 13, the par 5. Woody Austin has a chance for a birdie. This was to get within one of the leaders. That was earlier for Austin. He likes it. Fired up to 15.
Where we have one of our leaders, Tom Pernice, on the tee. He has gone for this hole every single day. Only 277 yards. That's a fairway wood. He's got a par and a birdie and a bogey. And that one is, if not in the water, is in the long grass and in the hazard. Trying to hit a hard turning 3-wood that got started just a little bit too much left. Back to 13.
And Tim Herron, who is going well. Great to see him playing a bit better. Battled that Lyme disease. He thinks he picked it up at Shinnecock. Hit him at the Open Championship at Troon. And had a super round yesterday. 65 and a good putt there to double figures for him. 4-way tie at the top now after Funk's bogey. And the 13th proving critical at this time. Uresti, remember, was in contention Made a mess of it, made an 8. Good birdie for Herron, good birdie for Austin, who is 1 back. And as usual with the par 5 that's reachable in 2, a little bit of a weight on the tee. Might not have been reachable for Pavin, but other players would be waiting on their second shot. And 2 groups waiting on the tee, and it's not a good tee to wait on. Water to the right, out of bounds to the left. A critical tee shot. And we saw a graphic. Funk is over par for the par 5s. He's had 1 bogey, the rest pars, has yet to make a birdie on a par 5 this week. And we'll be back in a moment. Wow, Fred ruminates.
I want another championship so bad, it hurts. It hurts my elbows, my knees, my wrists, but I work through it with the new Icy Hot Sleeve.
Introducing the new Icy Hot Sleeve, joint-hugging pain relief you wear. The new Icy Hot Sleeve surrounds painful joints with concentrated medicine that goes on icy to dull the pain, then gets hot to relax it away.
When you're working something so hard it hurts, get the new Icy Hot Sleeve, hard-working pain relief.
Okay, people, why are these numbers off?
Well, Tim, it's been an off week. An off quarter. We got off to a bad start.
The budgets were off.
Way off. Forecasts were off. Off target. Way off. Production was off. Way off.
Well, Patterson's research was off.
Where is Patterson?
He took the week off.
Look, can someone just tell me how we can turn off?
How about an offsite?
That's awful.
Need some new thinking? IBM Business Consultants can help.
Breaker 19, this here's a rubber duck. You got a copy on me, Big Ben? Come on. And yeah, we definitely got the front door, good buddy. Mercy sakes alive, looks like we've got us a convoy.
The Buick Rendezvous Ultra. Rainier. And coming soon to Rosin. 3 new ways to refine the road. Buick. We're not just a car company anymore.
I have a lot in common with the golfers on the Champions Tour. Guys like Watson and Stadler are known for coming through in big tournaments. Myself, I always played my best in big games. But those guys, they're still in the limelight. I don't want that much attention anymore. I want to be known as Phil Simms the person, not the football player.
CSI Miami's season premiere is so intense. One of these CSIs won't survive it. Shots fired. CBS Monday, September 20th.
Corey Pavin on the 13th tee. He hit that shot yesterday, that chop driver. Laying the driver like a fairway wood, tees it up, then chops down on it, low fade. Just saying, I'm going to put this ball in the fairway, then lay up and hit my pitch shot close. It works for Corey Pavin. We wouldn't really recommend it. But just pretend this is a strong 3-wood.
You know, Usti, he's working on getting the club back more inside and around and hitting a draw with more extension through impact. But under pressure, you revert to what's comfortable, don't you?
Under pressure, he just wanted to know he could find the fairway. The 17th, Matt Gogol, we saw the second shot missed long left, chipped to there. Pretty good chip to get within 4 or 5 feet, but he misses. It's a bogey. An untimely bogey back to 7 under. Birdie would have put him within 1 of the lead. Take that. We don't need that ball anymore. Now we're going back to 15.
And this is Tom Pernice. And that ball you see there is the ball of Tom Pernice, but it's one that he got from his golf bag. He had to take a drop. This ball went through the long grass and just barely trickled in the hazard, but was unhittable. So he lies 2 there. While he ponders, let's go to 18.
And it's Zach Johnson here.
This from 146. Flag tucked in the back right. Ooh, a little far, not bad. Catch a little slope right there. He's got a chance. Never know. Post 9 under, 10 under. He can post 9 with that putt.
Coming here with birdies at 14, 15, 16, 17, and again 15 providing So much excitement and more to come, I'm sure, Peter.
I absolutely love this hole. I mean, yesterday, Jim, 17 players missed the green from less than 10 yards off the edge of the green. Now we see what happens with Tom Pernice. I mean, he only pulled his tee shot maybe 5 yards left of what was playable, but now he has to really execute a wonderful chip and putt to walk away with his par. Options, options, options. If you can make these players think, you can make them mess up. He can take it low and bump and run it up over the ridge. He can try to flop it. The more options you give them, the more chance they pick the wrong one. It appears to be going with a fairly straight-faced club, so this is going to be a bump into the bank or just short of it and try to trickle it up. That's nicely played. He's got himself about 8 feet now left for his par. On the tee, thinking birdie, struggling to make par when he gets to the green. Let's go to 14.
All right, Tim Herron favoring that right side. This is a downhill second shot.
Yeah, and this from 160, and the flag tucked in the right over the bunker from his angle. Ooh, and it comes up woefully short, leaving a very difficult pitch up over a ridge and back down to the hole.
Well, back over at 13.
And really no options for Corey Pavin. Just checking the wind.
No.
After that punch driver off the tee, playing for position, trying to set up a nice yardage for the pitch. Trying to steer clear of the water to the left, bunkers to the right. A railroad there. Hasn't been used in years. And it's out of bounds to the left. Clear in your mind, it should be a very, very simple layup, a huge target, much bigger than trying to hit a green on a par 4, but important. So stay focused, try and get the right yardage. Looks as if he was turning it right to left. Don't go too far left. Oh, it's fine. So short off the tee, short of water with his second shot. Up ahead at 14.
And again, second shot here. Sometimes hard to gauge. We saw it with Tim Herron.
It is. It's a downhill shot. This from Woody Austin. Here again, the flag tucked in. Ooh, and that's a heck of a play. The short rough got it to spin and stop. Wow.
No problem for Woody, who comes off birdie at 13 and is 3 under here in the final round. Back to 15.
Now Tom Pernice watched his fellow competitor Kirk Triplett miss on the left side from the opposite side of the hole. Kirk thinking that it would move to the right, which means Tom's would move to the left, but there's not much here. If you hit it fairly firm, keep it inside the hole, you should do okay. There you go. Age 44. Another one of the 40-somethings trying to compete here. Plays well in the month of August. He had that wonderful win at the International, a third just a couple weeks ago at the International. Right now, all he cares about is walking to the 16th tee and writing 4 on his scorecard. Nope. It looks like it should move to the left. It does not. That'll be his second bogey of the week here at the 15th hole. Tom Pernice drops out of a share for the lead. Now down to -9. Risk, reward. I guess this is the definition here at 15. Let's go back to 14.
All right, Tim Herron coming off that eagle. And what does he do here, Lanny?
Well, he's got to play a little bump and run. Probably take wedge, put it back in his stance, and try and land it just short of the ridge. Trickle over. Needs to go downhill right here. That's well done. Easy. Still a good play. Now he left himself an uphill putt from about 4 or 5 feet. Maybe a right edger.
At 18, here is Zach Johnson. Again, he has birdied his last 4 holes. Could he possibly find one more here at 18? Yes! How about that finish?
That is some finish. Got it cooking. He's going to really have some thoughts about yesterday's round. He left a lot of shots on the golf course yesterday and may come back to haunt him. Maybe 1 or 2 short, but he's going to have to sit and wait a while.
He is 1 off the lead, and he is in with 66. And we swing it back over to 14. You look at Zach Johnson, though, and you start to think about as we're nearing the end of the year, 11 tournaments to go on the official tour schedule. And you know, Zach Johnson has a year that some years would win Rookie of the Year, but there's a guy out there named Todd Hamilton. And his age certainly makes you think for a moment that, well, is he a rookie out here? He is a rookie, and he's an Open champion from Troon and a winner from back in Florida as well earlier in the year. So Zach Johnson having quite a season otherwise.
Yeah, it's a nice year for Zach Johnson, but Todd Hamilton definitely the inside edge with a major championship win. And right here, Woody Austin for birdie. All right. Woody jumps up into a tie for the lead.
It's good to see Woody with a confident stroke, something that so often has escaped him. And he's pleased. And here we go here, Lanny. Again, we're not going to give anything away quite yet. But for Rookie of the Year, look at the season Todd Hamilton has turned in through August. $2.7 million, but throw the money aside. British Open champion. Also the Honda Classic.
Yeah, and who he beat in those 2 tournaments too, Jim. I mean, you know, went toe-to-toe with Ernie Els and Davis Love for his 2 wins.
I love the way he carries himself. Like a champion, and will be, I'm sure, many more times. 13.
After the long wait, Fred Funk.
And that one just right down the middle as usual.
Very, very wide fairway. 50 yards wide at that distance. But important to find it at 14.
Tim Herron for par. That's some up and down.
That's a heck of an up and down. It's a wonderful little pitch shot he played there. Left it in perfect position.
13.
Corey Pavin's pitch shot. A little low, spinning right to left and carries it too far. What happened? Safe off the tee, safe on the second shot, and then what should have been his strength, the pitch shot, miscues. So an awkward chip shot coming up to 18.
And Matt Gogol.
Perfect drive, dead center of the fairway, hole in the back right. I wonder why this guy doesn't play better, Jim. Beautiful golf swing. Especially if he hits shots like that.
All you have to do is ask.
That's from 124, a heck of a play.
Gogol's gonna be thinking about that bogey at 17 as he stuffs it here close. We'll be back. Final round. It's a tight one in Hartford.
It's not someone else's dream. It's yours. It's not someone else's future. It's the only one you get. So when it comes to investing for that future, we think you deserve our complete attention. All our understanding, and then some. The deepest knowledge. The most independent advice. Someone who listens to you, like you are the only investor in the world. Raymond James.
Some people like their toys loud and powerful. So do we. Demo the Iomatic driver and experience the new sound of power.
Hey, what's the story?
No room.
But this is our place.
No room. There's a spike in traffic. Scalability issue. They should add seats. Or tables. Or hire more waiters. Build a bigger kitchen. It's an on-demand world. Why not just add capacity?
Like with our servers?
That's what we would do.
Do you guys ever talk about anything but servers? No.
Expand on demand. IBM eServer X Series with Intel Xeon processors.
McGregor Bobby Grace putters, used by over 50 PGA Tour pros. Legally speaking, we can't tell you who. Just watch every Sunday afternoon to see what a winner looks like.
Hungry for NFL football? So are we. The season kicks off September 12th on CBS.
Las Vegas police, we have a warrant.
body. Another murder.
Well, the late summer, hot, hazy conditions here, but a good look at Hartford, the capital city of this prideful state of Connecticut, and Hartford going through quite a resurgence, and new convention center on the way. The insurance capital right there, and the state capital of Connecticut, Hartford. And we're down here south of it in a suburb called Cromwell, and the 16th hole at the TPC at River Highland.
Earlier this was Tom Pernice, 7-iron to the par 3. Solid strike. It's really a yellow light hole location today. We've seen plentiful bogeys out of the right-hand bunker. And live Pernice for birdie. And I can promise you, with Pernice's college teammate Corey Pavin tied for the lead, there's a lot of desire Pernice to catch his buddy Pavin, and here he is at 13.
Pernice did tap in at the 16th. Corey Pavin, 4th shot at the par 5. And it's amazing. The holes you think are good birdie opportunities can come back and bite you. That 15th hole drivable from the tee back down the fairway. Fred Funk will lay up, as he's done each day.
Well, 282 yards to the flag. That was always part of his plan. Really a very good tee shot. It's a wide fairway, but you don't want that kind of a weight on this tee, looking at the out of bounds left and the lake on the right.
Yeah, it doesn't look 50 yards wide, and OB and water in play can be in the back of your mind. 218.
Matt Gogol for birdie. Very nice. 67 finish. Under par every day. He's in at 8 under, but that's one behind Zach Johnson, who has already posted 271. Back to 13.
And Pavin doesn't seem too sure of the line, putting down towards the hazard. Eric Schwartz, long-time paving caddy, strolls by, just a little advice. And a bogey here would be disastrous for Pavin. Bogey free today, just a couple of birdies. Par 4 second, par 4 10th. Unbelievable. Played around what should have been his strength, the short iron pitch, but it goes a little long. It leads to a bogey, and he drops out of the lead. And another look. Was it ever on line? Looked pretty good for a while, but not firm enough. And Corey Pavin, well, his last win was a very special one. Colonial Country Club, the Bank of America Colonial. He won the United States Open the previous year, and a special win there at Colonial. 196 events since his last win. But good play in the last couple of weeks. Top 15 last 3 tournaments. To 15.
And Woody Austin paired with Tim Herron on the tee, off the tee, on the tee. Had a little bit of a wait. The group ahead of Skip Kendall and Hidemichi Tanaka decided not to let them hit up. They were so close to finishing out. This pairing, quite similar players. Tim Herron and Woody Austin, both better ball strikers than putters, you'd have to say. Wonderful rhythm there. That's heading left, and that'll catch the rough. And we have seen player after player have difficulties down there, obviously all depending on the lie that they draw. Now over to 17.
And the nervous tee shot with water in play down the right. 2 bunkers on the left side. Carry the first bunker and stay just to the right of the second. An aggressive swing with a long iron or one of those hybrid clubs. And safely done. Safe for Panisse, setting up the second shot over water. And the pin on the front left corner. 15th green just off to the right. Look how close that hole position is to water at that short par 4. Back to 15.
Where Tim Herron is ready to go with his hybrid iron. Really has a good flow going to his golf swing. Don't mind that follow through. That's Timmy Herron's trademark. This is right at it if it's got enough steam. Now it'll run out just on the upslope, just short of the green, but not too bad a position to get an up and down and maybe get sole possession of the lead. There's a good look from our Eagle Eye Outback Steakhouse view. 282 to the front edge from all the way back. They're playing it up a little bit today. It's 277 to the hole. All those arrows on the green means it's difficult. It's hard to get it there and hard to keep it there. Let's go back to 13, which is not a particularly easy green either.
Well, Fred Funk, just like Pavin, has positioned his second shot for a pitch.
And he's left it in the perfect spot here. Nice open look at the flag, 83 yards. Sand wedge. Well, he's thrown that a long way. He's looking to spin it.
And amazing. Pavin and Funk make the same mistake. Can't hit the green with a short pitch shot. And it's going to be remarkable if Fred can go on and win this tournament without a single birdie at a par 5. Needs to chip this one in for his lone birdie on a par 5 this week. Very unusual. Usually tournament winners humiliate the par 5s. Hit to 14.
What's the mindset here at 14, knowing what comes up next?
Well, Corey's got to get aggressive. He needs a birdie or 2 right now. He knows it. Just aim this down the right center of the fairway and try and get to turn over. I'm surprised to see so many people leaving it up the right side today with that flag tucked over in the right, just 4 from the edge.
We've seen almost everyone up there. Pavin favoring the right side too. He's 1 back with a 3-way tie. Funk, Herron, and Austin share it.
The Rules of Golf with Gary McCord, sponsored by Argent Mortgage.
Ooh, yeah. That one's pretty. Right on the button. Okay, your shot. Hey, you can't touch my equipment. Stay tuned after this message, and we'll find out if he broke a rule or not.
We know success comes from flawless performance at every opportunity. Ask your mortgage broker about an Argent loan.
Under Rule 8, advice. Another player may look but not touch the clubs to ascertain what club he is hitting. You have a 2-shot penalty. You're hitting 3. Good luck.
2 shots, huh?
And by the way, we haven't heard Gary's voice otherwise today. He's playing in the final major on the Champions Tour. 3 under through 54 holes and very respectable 23rd place tie going into the last round. Way to go, partner.
And I can't believe I let him talk me into that. That's Woody Austin from the rough just to the left of the green. And I don't know what is going on here. Woody Austin's last win, Buick Open, 1995. Tom Byram, 2 top 10s. Those were Buick tournaments. Back to 13.
Fred Funk's 4th shot.
Not a good lie. It's a horrible little clumpy lie there. Just exactly what he didn't want.
We saw Corey Pavin be very, very respectful of that runoff to the front. Let's go quickly to 15.
Eagle putt from just short of the green, and that's what happens. Boy, I tell you, you're less than about 4 steps off the green, and you can't get it within 15 feet of the hole. That does not make you feel very good. To 17.
Tom Panisse, one behind, needs a birdie. Spin now. Well, it's going to be a tricky putt. Across a side slope, little quick around the cup, breaking left to right. Get back into double figures. Poster score. Back to 14.
All right, let's see what they can do with it from up here, Lanny.
Corey Pavin on the right-hand side of the fairway. And Corey will work it left to right. He is not going to hit a straight shot. And with the flag in the right, he'll try and start it just left of the flag and hit a little cut. That with a 5-iron. Looked like he came out of that just a little bit. Ooh, came out of it a lot. Now he's got a really difficult shot, Jim. He's got a tough bunker shot there. The only chance he has really to get it close is if it's on the upslope. If it's on the upslope, he can get it out soft and spin it.
And there again, there's where you'd rather be favoring, I guess, that left side of the fairway, as you pointed out. Let's go to 13.
To stay tight at the top. So Funk and Pavin try to play to their strengths, not challenging this hole with power. Bad pitch shots lead to 2 bogeys. So Funk drops out of the lead. Herron and Austin alone at 10 under now. And we've had some great shots, especially of that 13th hole from the Outback Steakhouse Airship. Bloomin' Onion 1. Mitch Johnson is at the controls. And it's a beautiful, bright, sunny day. Little breeze to make it easier on the fans. It's not helping Fred Funk. He can't believe he bogeyed that hole. He's had 2 bogeys and the rest 5s at the par 5s this week. Still, obviously a chance to win, but not with no help from par 5s. Back to Tom Panisse at the 17th. His chance for a birdie to join Herron and Austin in double figures. Wasn't an easy putt, but would have liked to have given it a chance. Perfect tee shot. Just not perhaps aggressive enough with the second, but that water is pretty close, just in front of the left side of the hole. Let's go back to 15.
Where the pairing of our 2 leaders, Tim Herron and Woody Austin, have a couple of birdie putts. Tim Herron the first to go from, I'm going to give him about 18 feet. A couple years ago, went to the claw grip to try and smooth out his stroke. There's a good look at it. Wow, you just stripe a tee shot right at the flag from 277 yards. You think, maybe eagle. Got to have my birdie. Now he's got 3.5 feet left for par. Now Woody Austin, probably about 10 or 11 feet for his. He has gone back and forth between the belly putter and a conventional length putter. Right now it's conventional length. This for sole possession of the lead at 11 under. Oh, he knew it. He knew it. So Woody Austin now manages to make his birdie at 15, and he goes to 16 with a 1-shot lead. Back to 14.
Fred Funk.
Okay. Sounds good.
How quick it has changed. He's now 2 back.
And here again, someone down the right side of the fairway. He's going to have some tree issues. Hole tucked in tight against that right bunker. Need to challenge the left a little bit more when you need birdies on this hole.
15.
Still a lot of golf to be played, but this putt is absolutely critical for Tim Herron to stay in the mix. Okay. Makes his 4. Stays at -10, 1 shot back. And anything, trust me, anything can happen on 16, 17, and 18. Back to 14.
Great pavement earlier. Oh, that is beautifully played.
It was. He caught an upslope there and was able to get it out, spin it. Shots like that never seem to scare Corey. He's got to start hitting a couple of really quality shots, so he needs some birdies.
And we pick him up live. 14. Cannot afford to give another one away as Woody Austin has taken the lead by 1 over Tim Herron. Getting a little help here, Corey, from longtime caddy Eric Schwartz. They have been together since 1991 on tour. You think of all the ups and downs they've been through together. There's Eric. And the first time they ever were a team was right here, the 91 Greater Hartford Open. Corey made it all the way to a playoff with Rick Fair and Billy Ray Brown, with Billy Ray prevailing as the winner.
Now this putt about 3 feet, just on the right outside edge.
Corey, 3 times a Ryder Cup player.
My partner in several of those Ryder Cups.
I had him down for 3 matches with you.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, none of us wanted to play him. I'll tell you that. Jumping around with his nasty, knotted little fist.
Yeah, he was on my team in '95
Yeah.
and holed some great shots. I was watching.
He was some competitor.
I'll tell you, put you two together, that's it's like a stick of dynamite, you two. That's a tough twosome. You must have done well. 16.
Woody Austin, 7 iron. Heard a good swing.
Be right, sweetheart.
Is it ever? Perfect. Playing with a lot of desire. It's been years of struggle for Woody Austin. 1 tour win, that 95 at the Buick Open. Certainly the most famous ex-employee of the GTE Federal Credit Union in Tampa, where he once worked as a teller. Oftentimes 10 bar just to support his golf habit. Once the #1 player at the University of Miami back in the mid-80s. And here's Tim Herron. Also 7 iron. Not a big one for Lumpy. Oh, what a bounce. Look out. Just an inch away from the car, the Buick LaCrosse CXS. Lumpy was just about ready to go swimming across the lake to jump in that pretty looking car. That deserves a second look. 7 iron for Tim Herron at the par 3. And what a kick, and with that birdie, Tim Herron will tie Woody Austin for the lead.
Peaceful, powerful, Rainier. It's a brand new Buick. Available with OnStar.
Well, people think Starbucks is an overnight success. I can tell you firsthand, quite the contrary.
the opening of the first Costco was a significant moment. You're on pins and needles. You're worrying about whether or not anyone's going to show up for the opening. Nothing was quite as significant as that first one.
When we opened the first store, nobody came. But as that word of mouth spread, the volume began growing by 20 and 30%. By September of that first year, we knew we had a winner in our hands.
I think in order to run a company, you have to have the ability to inspire others.
Leadership is all about people.
In order to be successful and in order to engender enthusiasm,
You have to have the vision and the courage.
you have to have passion.
People have got to want to follow you. Success is not an entitlement. It has to be earned.
Staples,
Starbucks,
Costco, listed on NASDAQ. NASDAQ 100 companies.
While on the moon, Alan Shepard wanted to play a little golf. So he dropped a few balls on the dusty surface and hit one of the longest shots ever recorded. Not bad for a one-handed bunker shot with a makeshift 6-iron. The World Golf Hall of Fame. If you love golf, you've got to go.
It's a different game out here. The U.S. Open on CBS.
Wednesdays this fall, CSI New York. Jerry Bruckheimer, the producers of CSI. They'll put you in a New York state of mind with Gary Sinise and Milena Kanakaridis. Wednesdays, CSI comes to New York. 16.
Yeah, and this was earlier. The walk for Tim Herron up to the 16th green. And everyone's favorite birdie length. And now live, Woody Austin to try to take back the lead alone. So par for Woody Austin, remains at 11 under and now tied with Tim Herron. And what has been the most difficult hole this week, the 16th. Austin and Herron making it look like it's a cakewalk. Very difficult hole location today. And we'll have to ask Tim Herron honestly, was he going at the flagstick or was he aiming left? To 14.
Fred Funk.
Same place as Corey Pavin on the upstairs. Doesn't do as good a job as Corey, but he's got a makeable putt for par. One he cannot afford to miss at this point in time with two other players already at 11.
Over to 15.
Where we have Corey Pavin and Hunter Mahan are next to the last group on the tee. Corey Pavin's made some huge progress in his golf game, working with Butch Harmon, trying to get the club more inside and around going back, trying to get more extension going through. But he's clearly not 100% of the way there. He's halfway between right now. And that was a little bit better looking golf swing. Set up more for a cut action, which you might expect on this hole with the water to the left. Get up. All right, he'll need to rely on his short game if he's going to make a 3 here. To 17.
Tim Herron on that elevated tee. Gives it a brief double take. Now he's sure it's in the fairway. And nicely done. After the 4-inch tap in for a birdie. To 14.
Freddie Funk for par.
Oh boy. Oh, he's going to have some finish now. That's a shame. Freddie's let it slip away here on some very simple holes.
He's now 3 behind as we go to 17.
Co-leader Austin. Very reliable, a long game. And he gets some roll, and that's going to make a big difference. He can be more aggressive with his second shot than Tim Herron. Across the water with a short iron, ahead at 18.
Tom Pernice. Again, you make 3 here, who knows?
Easy. Trying to be aggressive and just pulled it. Anytime you pull it, it's going long. That from 132. Not a good play from 132.
Tim Herron and Woody Austin, they share the lead at 11 under. We're back with more after this message and a word from your local station.
What can the new spring collection teach us about a retirement plan?
Thank you, parents. Are there any other questions?
Yes, I have a question.
What works for someone else
It's about carpool.
may not work for you. Talk to one of our financial advisors. Together we can achieve uncommon results. Wachovia Securities.
Who would have thought practicing medicine in a casino could be such a gamble? Ouch. Dr. Vegas, CBS Fridays this fall. Survivor Vanuatu premieres Thursday, September 16th.
Somebody's gonna get burned.
It's Toyota time, the nationwide clearance event, the year's biggest event. You've got to act now. This is the time to get an amazing value with 0% financing on the stylish Camry. Or choose $1,000 in cashback savings or lease Camry for just $199 a month for 36 months. One legendary classic. 3 ways to save. Toyota time. Selection, value, clearance, now.
Where's Christina?
She's right there, number 11.
This is live.
Yeah, it's live.
Are we on the interweb?
Yeah, it's DSL.
Where are the wires?
You don't need them.
This is crazy.
What are you doing?
Fast, powerful Verizon DSL with wireless home networking.
Rudy Giuliani, center stage at the RNC, Monday at 10.
The Buick Championship is sponsored by Buick. We're not just a car company anymore. American Express, the official card of tea time. And by Thermacare Heat Wraps. Feel the difference between can't and can.
We're back here live at the 18th, and Tom Pernice, really to have any chance at all with Herron and Austin 2 in front of him, needs to chip this in. And we've seen chip-ins, by the way, through the years here.
Yeah, plenty of green to work with here. He's got a chance.
Oh, my word.
What an effort.
You recall Paul Azinger chipping in here in a winning year. Stuart Sink, Olin Brown, remember that chip in here at the 72nd hole? And Tom Pernice, we don't know what it would have done had he gotten the 10 under, but it certainly would have gotten the attention of Mr. Herron and Mr. Austin. 67 for Tom, final round, 17 to go.
Tim Herron's second shot. Oh, there's a lot of divot there. A lot of divot, and it's in the hazard. 3 birdies, an eagle, a bogey at the 12th on the second 9, almost a hole in one at the previous hole, and now he doesn't know what to do. He can't believe he's hit it in the hazard. So they were tied at the top, 2 clear of Pavin Pernice and Zach Johnson, who finished a while ago. Austin, if he can hit this close, it would be huge. Herron's going to have to drop back. Playing 4, best he can do, a bogey. Oh, Woody Austin. 124, wind behind. What is that? Yeah, we think it's just got over the water. He is dry. It wasn't a great shot from 124 with a wedge.
I think it went in the water.
Peter, don't they see the green behind the flag?
I was aiming out there to the right, which is shorter distance.
He's not sure. It looked as if there was a ball in the
105 could have been playing more
on the grass beyond the hazard, but He's not sure. Let's have another look from overhead. 124, wind behind, just a wedge. I'm surprised he didn't realize it was safe. No splash. Obviously, that is the ball now. Herron in for 2, out for 3, hitting 4. So
played short all week. You know, 105. That gap wedge goes 120. So I had 15 yards to spare. I hit a nice smooth one right in the middle of the green. And only went barely went 100 yards down.
Quack now while Herron plays. Trying to get away with a bogey. The slope will help him. This is what happened in the second round. Numerous shots like this, even with the wind behind, able to get the spin and a chance for a bogey for Herron. Won the Buick Open back in 1995. Lost his playing privileges a couple of years ago. Had to go to the qualifying school in 2002 to get his card back. Back to 15.
While all that was going on, this was earlier. Corey Pavin going for the blast shot at 15, getting too much of the golf ball. Yet another player misses the green from just a few steps away. Now using the putter to try and go back and up over the ridge. What a stretch of finishing holes here at the TPC. 15, 16, 17, 18. Wow. Let's go to 17.
And nobody's very sure whether to applaud or just keep quiet and just wait and see what happens. With Herron having gone in the water and now found the green with a decent shot. Austin beyond the hazard, hitting his 3rd.
Peter, the yardage that he kept calling out was significantly different than the yardage that we had.
Well, I think it was just maybe mumbling away. He was in shock from the result of his. I don't know where the 105 came from. We had 124 to the hole. And that's not a good chip either.
Well, Peter, also, you know, when you're playing downwind, and especially as brisk as the wind is right now, you go hit a little shot, the wind knocks it out of the air. He had to hit that up in the air, and that's just what he did not do. And he's a low ball hitter anyway.
Well, he had a real opportunity with Herron in the hazard. A good shot from Austin. Might not have clinched the tournament, but it would have gone a long way to doing that. And now it was a poor pitch. A par putt for Austin. A very poor pitch, even further away than I first thought. Par putt for Austin, bogey putt for Herron. 2 ahead of Pavin, Panisse, Johnson. Panisse and Johnson finished. Pavin going back and forth at 15. Jeff Sluman, 120 this afternoon. He finished his round. A 62 to get back into it. Big money. It is for a par. And well done. After a very poor shot with a wedge, a bad chip, a clutch par putt for Woody Austin. Co-leader, but that will change. We know the best that Herron can do is a bogey. So leading alone going to the 18th tee now. To stay within 1, also important. Amazing. Austin with all that roll off the tee, giving himself that short second shot. Should have made it easier. Herron was further away. And this will test the nerves and that claw grip. Pushes the blade through. Sole leader Woody Austin. will be 2 ahead of Tim Herron if Tim makes this. 2 ahead of Pernice in the clubhouse, Johnson in the clubhouse, Pavin still playing. Fred Funk 3 behind with 3 to play. Excuse me, 4 to play. There's a good tee shot. Double bogey. Woody Austin striding to the 18th tee. 11 under, 2 ahead.
And again, while that was going on over there, this was earlier. Corey Pavin for his par at 15. And Corey will play the 15th hole 1 over par for the week, driving him down to -8. Still a lot of golf to be played. Anything can happen. Woody Austin right now a 2-shot lead.
Buick, official car of the PGA Tour, presents the Summer of Champions, a model year-end sales event. Rainier, Buick's luxury SUV with the serenity of quiet tuning, rich leather-appointed seating, standard, the power of an available V8. Now you're the winner with $5,000 closeout cash on every new 2004 Rainier. Summer of Champions at your Buick dealer.
20 tokens, please.
Certainly.
Okay, I open the thermocare box and I think, wow, what is this? And while I'm wondering what a heat wrap does, I realize, whoa, it gets hot. Then I put it on my aching back and it really starts to sink in. The heat, I mean. It's like a heating pad without the cord. It goes anywhere. And before long, my aching back is not aching anymore. I feel like I could do backflips. Bad idea.
It's the anticipation of what it can be that excites me. I think that we can develop a very sane, sound, rational approach to the games on Sundays and still have some fun doing it.
It's a whole new game. The NFL Today, Sundays on CBS.
This fall, go inside the clubhouse.
We lose this game, it's on you. We've got a challenge to your player's back.
Little thin skin, isn't he?
It's baseball like you've never seen it before.
Bat boy for the Empires. Hey, Scrub, third stall.
Clubhouse, CBS Tuesdays this fall.
Well, a reminder, amazing race Tuesday on CBS. The EMEA winning series continues as the summer's fan favorite. 5 teams head into the home stretch now. Any slip up could cost them $1 million. The amazing race Tuesday at 9, 8 Central here on America's most watched network. And for those of you needing some help when it comes to mastering bunker shots, who doesn't? Listen, log on to PGAtour.com for some expert tips. Can help your game. We're on 18T. Woody Austin with a 2-shot lead. This was a moment ago.
And Woody, normally a very straight driver, excellent ball striker all around. Hammers this down the left side of the fairway. Got a little slope there. It's got to hang on. Just creeps into the short stuff.
It looked like into a divot.
Yeah, if it's sitting okay, he's in good position. The flag's in the back right. He's in the left short rough, so should be okay. Now Tim Herron needs a 3.
There you go. Thanks, Sam.
We mentioned earlier he had a bout with Lyme disease earlier in the summer, and he was in the running for possible Ryder Cup bid had he been well enough to play and play well in the final couple of months leading up to the final 10 automatics. Let's go over to 15.
Fred Funk for eagle.
Oh, you could just knock this clean off the front of the green or leave it very short.
David, I think this is just a marvelously designed golf hole. It has left players scratching their heads.
It's got a lot of Malpe and Twitty in it. It's definitely very strange.
Woody Austin by 2.
Breaker 19, this here's a rubber duck. You got a copy on me, big fan? Come on. And yeah, we definitely got the front door, good buddy. Mercy sakes alive, looks like we've got us a convoy.
The Buick Rendezvous Ultra. Rainier. And coming soon, Terrazzo. 3 new ways to refine the road. Buick. We're not just a car company anymore.
The idea is easy to hit hybrid irons. The idea has become the #1 hybrid iron set in golf. And now the idea is to purchase this great set of irons and get this stand bag free. Idea irons from Adams Golf. That's the idea.
Coming through!
It's different for people with acid reflux disease because you know the heartburn's gonna nail you. And over time, that acid could shred your esophagus. Next time, Nexium, the healing purple pill. For many, 1 prescription Nexium daily means 24-hour heartburn relief. More importantly, it also heals acid reflux erosions, and healing is such a great feeling. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. Talk to your doctor. The most common side effects of Nexium are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Don't let acid reflux eat at you. Next time, ask your doctor about Nexium.
I'll take that.
Because healing is such a great feeling.
Control panel has been located, over. Okay. Begin module reattachment. Roger that. Attachment complete. Now engaging power. Stand by. We have visual. Repeat. We have visual.
Golf's only global series, the World Golf Championships.
Will the biggest name in golf soon be a woman? It will if Michelle Wie has anything to say about it, and she does. Tonight on 60 Minutes.
18 and a horrible lie here, Lanny.
He is in a divot, and it is down almost underground. Got to get very steep, and when you get steep, you can't control the distance. Oh, that leaped out on him.
Look at this, and on a downslope.
The only saving grace he's got here is he's got plenty of green to work with.
Look at that. This is what the lie looked like. It was, well, you know,
just bad luck, a bad break at the wrong time. Of course.
Hi, Mom, Dad, Shannon, boy.
It was halfway submerged. Now here's Tim Herron.
Makes this shot even more important. Tim Herron has a chance.
Sit down.
Took a big hop on him.
But we've seen that putt hold.
Yes, we have.
15.
Fred Funk not out of it yet. This to get to 9 under at 15. Oh no, he got walking right away. Disappointing day. +1 for the day, -8 for the tournament for Fred. Expected a lot more out of himself than that. To 16.
Pavin for birdie here to get to -9. And he leaves it short. Several putts Corey's left short today. Taps in for par 3, but that was really a last-ditch effort. He'll need at least birdies on the last 2 holes. And that's only if Austin can make a mistake. Next week on the PGA Tour, we go up to the Boston area to the Deutsche Bank Championship. And the Champions Tour, Lanny Watkins and company will move to Pebble Beach for the first tee open. 2 rounds being played at Pebble Beach. And after the 3rd round, Peter Jacobsen and Vicente Fernandez tied for the lead at 12 under par. Jimmy?
It's going to be a special new event there at Pebble with the first tee and bringing kids out to play in it too. It's going to be very special indeed. The Late Show with David Letterman coming up here on Monday. Dave's all new with U.S. gold medal winning gymnast Carly Patterson and music from LL Cool J. Dave's all new all week. Back at 18. And Lanny, just a word here because I'm such a believer in the first tee program, and you're going to be there to help get this one underway. And how are the kids going to be interfacing here with the pros?
Oh, they play as our partners for 2 rounds in the tournament. It's really kind of neat. I can't wait to see them play and see how they perform and handle it. Should be neat to see them playing great golf courses. We have 2 amateurs plus a youngster in each of our groups the first 2 days.
Big shot here for Woody.
Didn't waste any time. Got plenty. Oh, he spun it nicely, easy.
And there she goes. And this just doesn't want to settle. You might recall a couple of years ago, Woody was in that playoff with Davis at Hilton Head trying to break a winless streak. His one win was back in '95 up at Warwick Hills in Grand Blanc, Michigan, Buick Open. And he had some chances in that playoff, which Davis eventually won for the 5th time.
Yes, he did. Balky putter, missed some putts that he probably should have made, but right now he can cure a lot of bad memories with 1 stroke from about 12 feet. First, he's got to watch Tim Herron, though, who can add even more pressure to Woody's putt. Tim can get this down to go 10 under. Then Woody's becomes a must for the win. Otherwise, he's still going to have the lead and just going to have to sit up in the clubhouse and sweat it out.
Yeah, if Woody fails to make his, you still have Funk, Pavin, Byram on the course needing a couple of birdies coming in. Doable. Doesn't happen all the time, but doable. We saw Zach Johnson birdie the last 5 holes. Now, Tim Herron
slightly downhill, a little bit on the just outside the left of the hole. Just time to make a nice solid stroke.
Good stroke, and indeed, Tim Herron.
Wow, look at that.
How about that? That is a wow.
Oh, and that hole just decreased by about 70% on Woody Austin. He's looking at a thimble right now. It's going, and you know what he's saying? And the toughest thing right here, he's saying, why me? I hit a good drive, I was in a divot. Now I've got to make, and my playing opponent makes birdie on me. It's like, what can happen to me next?
Herron just kind of laughs at how silly it all is. You make a 6, hit 17, look like you're out of it, and right back you come. Those are the most satisfying ones of all. You bet. Strong stuff there, Mr. Herron. Look at Woody Austin. He was talking to somebody else's ball.
I think he was talking to Timmy, saying nice putt. He thought he was talking to himself, which is, let's hope he wasn't answering.
Well, we've seen him mutter a few times before. Now, this is to make par at the last hole, and it'll be tough for anybody else now to make 3 birdies coming in.
Well, the one thing on his side, he's been putting very well. He's made some excellent strokes coming down the stretch. Oh, it moved out on him.
How about this?
Looked like he hit it right where he was aimed. Just a misread.
Woody makes 5. Herron makes 3.
And that is a bad break, Jimmy. I mean,
wow.
He hit a nice solid tee shot. You know, you end up in a divot like that once in 50 times or even worse. That's just too bad.
Woody Austin, 5 birdies on the back 9, and then a bogey at 18 that really had everything to do with just bad luck. And Tim Herron does what he has to do. What a closing birdie. Those two are tied through 72 holes.
This is Sophie and Bernard. They've experienced a world war, a cold war, the birth of rock and roll, the assassinations, the resignation, love at first sight, marriage, twins, Yellowstone with the kids, private practice, family practice, and someday, springtime in Paris. Reaching retirement is no small achievement. We'll help you make the most of it. Introducing Fidelity Retirement Income Advantage. Call today for a free retirement income planning consultation at 800-FIDELITY.
Now a word from America's favorite castaway.
Hey, it's me, Rupert from Survivor. You think $1 million has changed me? No way! I'm just here to tell you, Survivor Vanuatu will blow you away! Castaways are tough, the challenges are mind-blowing, and the new island Vanuatu isn't just hot, it's on fire! Survivor Vanuatu Islands of Fire, Thursday night, September 16th, only on CBS. It's gonna be like nothing you've ever seen.
John Goodman returns in a new series, Center of the Universe, CBS Wednesdays this fall.
It's corn that's been pulverized and pressed into flakes. I call them corn flakes. Really quite delicious.
You never know when a golden opportunity will come your way, like the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Get your favorite Lexus vehicle at an incredible price.
Next, they'll be bottling water.
See your New York, New Jersey, Connecticut Lexus dealer.
I said, a little honey bunny, tell me what you're wanting. I got my rabbit ears on and I wanna get chummy chummy.
Over 8 million drivers feel really good riding with Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Bush or Kerry? Could liberal Jewish Democrats be having a change of heart? Monday at 5.
Follow all the action Thursday and Friday. Take a little sneak peek there while you're on the computer at the office. PGAtour.com's got the real-time scoring, all the information, the official site. It's a good one. And Clubhouse comes to CBS on Tuesdays this fall. Take you inside the clubhouse. Young man's dream of becoming a bat boy is going to come true. He's going to find out he's got a lot to learn about the big leagues. And that's coming again Tuesdays to America's Most Watched Network. 17.
Wow. Okay. Corey Pavin needs some birdies. This is a nervous shot from sand over water. And we're not sure. Short of the green, but maybe not quite back into the water. Back to 16.
And earlier, Fred Funk is his second shot over the green with his tee shot that was really a tough break.
Well, that's a great effort from there. Really a very difficult shot indeed.
Yeah, way down in this hollow. It's been a tough venture for Fred Funk on the back nine. 3 bogeys. Herron and Austin tied, and they're in the clubhouse.
Buick, official car of the PGA Tour, presents the Summer of Champions, a model year-end sales event. Rainier, Buick's luxury SUV with the serenity of quiet tuning, rich leather-appointed seating, standard, the power of an available V8. Now you're the winner with $5,000 closeout cash on every new 2004 Rainier. Summer of Champions at your Buick dealer.
It's a beautiful morning.
I was never one to sleep in. And even with my arthritis, I still look forward to going to school. The kids always ask me, Mrs. Shepard, how come we hardly ever have a substitute? And I say, you think there's a substitute for me?
Vioxx relieves arthritis pain, stiffness, and inflammation. Just one pill, once a day, can provide lasting 24-hour relief. So you can have nights with less pain and mornings with less stiffness. People with allergic reactions, such as asthma to aspirin or other arthritis medicines, should not take Vioxx. In rare cases, serious stomach problems, such as bleeding, can occur without warning. Tell your doctor if you've had liver or kidney disease, or a heart attack, angina, or a blocked artery in your heart. Ask your doctor about Vioxx for the relief of arthritis, pain, and stiffness. And find out if a free sample is right for you. Vioxx, for everyday victories.
Hello, I would like to make a donation.
Wonderful.
These I wore when I won in Dallas. And when you go to Augusta, these shoes will rock. And for your next trip to the French Riviera, this is all you need.
Great. Thanks.
The Salvation Army.
Hi, Duffy. Oh, hi, Jesper.
Just one of over 2,000 charities supported by the PGA Tour and its tournaments.
Ow.
The Buick Championship and the JCs benefit local charities in the Hartford area.
It's a different game out here. The U.S. Open on CBS.
And a beautiful day here outside of Hartford. Aerial coverage provided by our friends from Outback Steakhouse. And let me just say thank you to the whole crew for teaming up with us all season long here over the course of the last, almost 8 months. Captain Mitch Johnson at the controls. Our guys, Chris Sullivan and Tommy Shannon, keeping them on course. Bob Michelson providing the camera work. Good stuff. 17.
Corey Pavin chipping. Needed birdie finish, and he's not going to birdie 17. Chopped on out a bit much, didn't swing on through, talking to himself. Back to 16.
And Funk for par. Oh, and that's the frustration apparent. Now his 4th bogey on the backside, and really no chance now for Funk. And our Peter Costas is down with our leaders. Peter?
Thanks, Bobby. I am here with Tim Herron. Timmy, it's 15, 16, 17, and 18. That's designed for excitement, and we certainly had it coming down the stretch. What happened at 17?
If I knew, I would not have done it, right? But I don't know. I just kind of fat chunked it, I'd call it. But anyways, you know, I hung in there. You just never know in golf. And just kind of the moral of the story is, you know, just hang in there. And it looks like I might be in a playoff.
Well, and as well, Woody Austin is here. Woody, I mean, we talked just a couple of seconds ago. To win, you need some good breaks. And on 18, you got about as bad a break as you can get, just ended up in a horrific divot.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always said that. And it's very rare that somebody outplays the field by so many shots, you know. And if you look at all the tournaments come down to the wire, somebody usually gets a bounce here or there or something happens. And unfortunately for me, you could look at it. I got a break on 17, and then it took it back basically on 18. You know, it hit such a good drive and hit it that far down there to hit it in that big a divot was kind of ugly.
Well, we're not done yet. We may have a playoff. Hang on. Let's go back to 17.
Back at the 17th, the always drama elevated tee. Try and find the fairway, try and find the green. Pavin now for a par to stay 8 under. And he doesn't, so no chance of a dramatic hole out at the last with a second shot to tie. That's a bogey. And somehow Tim Herron and Woody Austin have ended up tied at the top. Amazing finish. Water involved.
Keep your point.
Peaceful, powerful. Rainier. It's a brand new Buick. Available with OnStar.
Some people like their toys loud and powerful. So do we. Demo the Iomatic driver and experience the new sound of power.
Sitting here or here. Mutual funds from the Hartford for people who are always thinking ahead. Ask your advisor.
It can think for itself, strike fear in the hearts of hackers, and laugh in the face of disaster. It can transform itself, grow into whatever the future demands. work virtually anywhere, and propel entire companies, industries, and economies forward. Can your network do this? It can with the world's networking company, AT&T.
McGregor Bobby Grace putters, used by over 50 PGA Tour pros. Legally speaking, we can't tell you who. Just watch every Sunday afternoon to see what a winner looks like.
This is the Fidelity Investments CBS Sports Desk.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chris Raggi. Welcome back to the Fidelity Investments CBS Sports Desk. The final day of competition at the Olympics in Athens. The United States today won a gold in men's boxing and a silver in the men's marathon. The U.S. won a total of 103 medals in Athens, 35 of those gold. That was good enough for the Americans to finish atop the medal charts for the third straight Summer Olympics. Today in baseball, Albert Pujols and the St. Louis Cardinals in Pittsburgh taking on the Pirates. And for Pujols, he goes 2 for 4 today. That's his 40th home run of the season. The Cards, with the best record in baseball, continue to roll 4-0 today's final. From Shade today, the NL West leading Dodgers and the Mets ex-Met Robin Ventura 1 for 4 with that grand slam. The Dodgers win it by a final of 10-2. From Fenway today, Detroit and the Sox, the Red Sox have now won 6 straight and 12 of their last 13. Coupled with the Yankees' loss today, Boston now just 4.5 out in the AL East. In auto racing, Dan Weldon took the lead on lap 170 and held on to win the Firestone Indy 225 from Nazareth Speedway. In a U.S. Open tune-up, second seed Leighton Hewitt serves an ace here on match point to win the TD Waterhouse Cup 6-3, 6-1 over 9th-seeded Luis Horna. CBS Sports' coverage of the U.S. Open begins tomorrow night with our late-night highlight show. That's it from New York. Now let's send you back out to the Buick Championship.
This has been the Fidelity Investments CBS Sports Desk.
Tonight on CBS 60 Minutes, Cold Case and Bond. Tomorrow Never Dies. CBS Sunday Movie coming your way with Pierce Brosnan, Tim Herron, and Woody Austin are going to be in a playoff here, and the playoff begins at 18, and should it extend beyond that, 16, if needed 17, then back to 18.
Both guys just want to keep a club in their hand, stay loose, so they won't tense up. Timmy's just making some swings of wedges, and Woody's just stroking a few putts just to keep the soft hands going.
And 17.
Tom Byram coming off a double bogey at number 16.
133 yards, and this last group, Usti is, well, the last car in the train just disengaged itself on the 13th hole.
Yeah, Fred Funk has made 4 bogeys in 5 holes. And Tim Herron just staying loose, and what an amazing finish. 16, just a few feet right of where he was aiming, but he gets a very nice bounce. And pretty close for the hole-in-one in the Buick LaCrosse. Then he hits in the water He got news of how close it was in the water at 17, and then at 18 he needed the putt. He knew he had a chance. Woody Austin chipped well past with his third, and in it goes. Well played, Tim Herron. Back from battling Lyme disease. Just staying loose. Probably studied the leaderboard a little bit, barring a hole out from the fairway. They are going to be together in the playoff. 17, Tom Byram. Just 6 under now. Started the day 8 under. An average score for the field less than 70 today, under par for the field. Not a good finish for Byron. 400 tournaments now without a win since his win at Kemper. Fred Funk. This is for a birdie. He will need to hold his second shot. He had a beautiful approach here at 17. Needs to hold his second shot at 18. Get a perfect tee shot, perfect second. Tap in for a birdie after a bad stretch to 18.
Corey Pavin.
Got to be disappointing for Corey. He got so close, and he hasn't been there in so long, and I'm sure he expected to do more of that coming down the stretch. Maybe just not quite trusting his swing changes yet.
He came in having played well in his last 3 tournaments, and 14 wins, a major, but a long time since his last. But this is a good sign for Corey. More good stuff to come. Those who are fans of his gritty game can only hope. Woody and Tim Herron headed for a playoff. The only question is, you know, the improbable here. Fred Funk has a chance to make it a 3-way game if it's a short club in his hand at 18, makes a little run at a 2. Let's go back down to Peter.
Thanks, Jim. I'm here with Larry Peck, Buick Golf's marketing manager. And Larry, in the inaugural year of Buick coming to the rescue of this tournament in this golf-starved area of Hartford, I guess it couldn't get much more exciting than this.
It's what an exciting way to start our first year. The fans out here, the community that's gotten behind this event. It's been a great first week. We look forward to a great run out here. It's got a great tradition since 1952. We've showcased some new products out here, and we couldn't be happier.
Well, we're happy as well, and we'll let you go because we know you're going to have to go down and pull that little name or number out of the hat in the playoff at 18.
It's going to be fun.
Thanks, Larry. Back to 18.
All right, thank you, Peter. Friends from Buick, we've been with them not only here in Hartford, but down in San Diego early in the year. Of course, Buick Open, Michigan, one of the best supporters of the PGA Tour. Folks from Buick.
Well, they really are. They're involved in so many tournaments and just stay in year after year after year, supporting the players with courtesy cars every week, and really just a backbone of the sponsorship of what goes on in the PGA Tour.
Freddie Funk. As he so often can, off the drive, just lean over and pick up the tee. He knows where it's going.
That's long for Fred Funk. He got it out there 300 yards.
Yeah, he should have, again, a short club coming up for a second shot. She'll need the hole, get into a playoff. And let's take a look at the Eagle Eye Outback Steakhouse view of this closing hole.
And we showed right there the 290-yard area. Fred is well past that, almost to that cart path. And from there in today's flag location in the back right. Very accessible, though. Plenty of green over the bunker. Fred needs to make 2 to tie.
So Freddie Funk and Tom Byram. As soon as Freddie hits that second shot, Tim Herron and Woody Austin will be ready to get back to the 18th tee and begin their little match.
Breaker 19, this here's a rubber duck. You got a copy on me, big fan? Come on. And yeah, we definitely got the front door, good buddy. Mercy sakes alive, looks like we've got us a convoy.
The Buick Rendezvous Ultra. Rainier. And coming soon to Rosin. 3 new ways to refine the road. Buick. We're not just a car company anymore.
This is Carol. She's been called hippie, preppy, yuppie, protester, Democrat, Republican, mom, CFO, CEO, cancer patient, cancer survivor, fundraiser, spokesperson, caregiver, and soon to be world traveler. Reaching retirement is no small achievement. We'll help you make the most of it. Introducing Fidelity Retirement Income Advantage. Before you retire, call today for a free retirement income planning consultation at 800-FIDELITY.
I'm Dan Rather. Protesters clogged some streets of New York on the eve of the Republican convention and America's love-hate relationship with the Big Apple. On tonight's CBS Evening News.
The Buick Championship is sponsored by Buick. We're not just a car company anymore. Fidelity Investments. Stop by your local Fidelity Investor Center today. And by McGregor Golf. Demo the new V-Foil woods and irons today at a McGregor dealer near you.
There's Woody Austin. His one win was at the Buick Open in Flint, Michigan, Grand Blanc, Michigan, defeating Mike Brisky in a playoff. And there's Tim Herron. His last win, he's won more than once, was over Tom Lehman, Bay Hill, in a playoff. And our last playoff here in Hartford, well, it was 1998. I tell you, there've been some remarkable things happen. I've seen happen at 18 green like that. Owen Brown for his first tour win in a playoff with Larry Mize that year. Owen Brown won it back in 1998. All right, here's Corey Pavin live for birdie. Good stroke. Good job.
Well, these last 3 weeks should be something to build on for Corey. He's a gritty competitor, and he still wants to be competitive out here. Expect nothing but hard work, and I wouldn't be surprised to maybe catch him in the winner's circle at the right place next year.
As you take a look at the field, those who made the cut, you know, that playoff, that Owen Brown winning chip, the playoff was not only Larry Mize but also Stuart Sink. We go back now into the fairway here, and Tom Byram seeing his chances fade late.
Tom is 135 yards, pretty much straight downwind now. Pitching wedge.
Needs to carry just over that bunker. There's plenty of room in there if he can land it there to stop it. We've seen a number of balls carry just over the bunker and stop anywhere from 2 to 3 feet around the hole all day today. Some surprisingly well executed second shots into this green. Excellent shot by Tom Byron. Disappointing day for him, I'm sure.
Well, let's see what Fred Funk can do here.
Oh, he has 119 yards, and this is really, I mean, it's almost in hard sand wedge territory. Certainly doesn't want to try and hit anything easy here, Lenny.
No, if he does that, David is going to knock it down, and it won't have any spin. Puts over the green in play.
It is sand wedge.
If you're going to try and hold it, aim, take sandwich, hit it hard, aim just to the right of the flag.
David, do you think he knows what he must do?
Yeah, he knows exactly. Big scoreboard just to his left. He's right at it.
Oh, is he ever? Back up, back up.
It's a heck of an effort. Too many short putts missed today for Fred. And that's a part of his game he's going to need to get in good shape heading to the Ryder Cup in about 3 weeks.
It'll be a 2-man playoff. Tim Herron, Woody Austin, and Freddie Funk gave it his best at making it a 3-way playoff. A little more zip on that.
It was right at it, and that's why he had the hard sandwich, so he could spin it and stop it.
Let's take a look at the CBS Sports Fidelity Investments shot of the day. How about this? Pretty hard to come up with anything that could beat this. Tim Herron at the 16th.
Going with a hard 7-iron, carries it flag high, just to the right.
Didn't win a car, but may win a golf tournament.
That sure gave him a chance right there.
Would double the 17th, only to come back and birdie the 72nd to force the playoff, which is coming up.
Well, people think Starbucks is an overnight success. I can tell you firsthand, quite the contrary.
The opening of the first Costco was a significant moment. You're on pins and needles. You're worrying about whether or not anyone's going to show up for the opening. Nothing quite as significant as that first one.
When we opened the first store, nobody came. But as that word of mouth spread, the volume began growing by 20 and 30%. By September of that first year, we knew we had a winner in our hands.
I think in order to run a company, you have to have the ability to inspire others.
Leadership is all about people.
In order to be successful and in order to engender enthusiasm,
You have to have the vision and the courage.
you have to have passion.
People have got to want to follow you. Success is not an entitlement. It has to be earned.
Staples,
Starbucks,
Costco, listed on NASDAQ. NASDAQ 100 companies.
John Goodman returns to television in a new series.
Hey, guys. Hey, buddy. Nice blazer. Are you taking the yacht to school today?
Center of the Universe. CBS Wednesdays this fall.
We are back at 18. Tom Byram finishes on a high note. Birdie's the final hole. 71. And now Mr. Funk. As superb as that second shot was, you could see the disappointment.
It's got to be, Jim. He had this tournament control. I mean, it was his to win or lose, really, today when he had that kind of lead. Unfortunately, he just didn't handle it.
That's birdie on the last two holes. Even par 70 for Freddie. One out of a playoff. The playoff is about to begin. Tim Herron, Woody Austin here in Hartford.
Favorite course is Riviera.
The old course at St. Andrews.
Augusta National.
Colonial.
I like power.
Definitely finesse.
Meadow play.
Stroke play.
Love match play.
I like the Pro V1.
Pro V1X.
Pro V1. Blonde. Definitely brunette.
I like blondes.
I prefer redheads. I got 3 of them.
There's one thing they can all agree on.
My favorite ball is Titleist.
Titleist.
Definitely
Titleist.
There's been a change of plan. Jones's design did not take into account these deplorable NXT golf We must stiffen our defenses. Let's see an NXT split that. It's a wee bit big still. Put more water in play. Love it. Good idea. Keep them coming.
Whatever happened to Mr. Jones?
We'll never get away with this.
Pipe down, Junior.
NXT and NXT Tour, as long and soft as ever.
Yes!
What can the new spring collection teach us about a retirement plan?
Thank you, parents. Are there any other questions?
Yes, I have a question.
What works for someone else
It's about carpool.
may not work for you. Talk to one of our financial advisors. Together we can achieve uncommon results. Wachovia Securities.
Breaker 19, this here's a rubber duck. You got a copy on me, big fan, come on? And yeah, we definitely got the front door, good buddy. Mercy sakes alive, looks like we've got us a convoy.
The Buick Rendezvous Ultra. Rainier. And coming soon, Terrazza. 3 new ways to refine the road.
Breaker, big fan, this here's
Buick. We're not just a car company anymore.
Hey, it's me, Rupert. I'm just here to tell you Survivor Vanna wants to blow you away. Thursday night, September 16th, only on CBS.
Lineup tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes, Cold Case and Bond. James Bond. That's right. James. The U.S. Ryder Cup team is, of course, all set with the picks having been made a couple of weeks ago. Haas and Stewart Cink chosen by Captain Hal Sutton, and the European team is now set. Let me bring in the 6-time European Ryder Cup team member Peter Osterhaus to tell us what happened here today in the end.
Well, I think Fredrik Jakobsen was trying to displace Poulter from the money list that closed today. So then Langer decided to choose Luke Donald and Colin Montgomery as his captain's picks, and Jakobsen is out of luck. So it was a close run thing, that's for sure.
Are you surprised?
No, I was thinking Donald has a fantastic record in the Walker Cup. He might play with Paul Casey in foursomes and four ball, and I'm not surprised Monty's on the team. His record is awesome.
And those matches just a few weeks away, 3 weeks away at Oakland Hills. Tim Herron will hit first here in the playoff.
He has selected driver, and last hole of regulation drove it over the cart path.
Tim's longer than Woody off the tee, but Woody may be a little bit straighter overall, so hard to say there's an advantage. I would love to be hitting first and put it in the fairway. Ooh. That is well left.
That went right over my left shoulder.
It disappeared.
And in a side hill lie in deep rough.
It's very thick over there.
He has a fair angle, but it's just a terrible lie.
It would have been a whole lot worse if it had cost us in the head. Might have gone back up the hill.
Slight opening now for Woody Austin. And he's due for a good break, or at least a good lie on 18.
And Woody.
Yeah, that'll do it. Wow, that's going to go past the path.
Yeah, it's right there, and across she goes. And
well, that might be too close.
And divot free, I might add. You know, we will be back with CBS Golf coming up in November with the Shark Shootout. But this is our last tour event. That counts toward the money list. Lanny, it's been great being with you. And the whole team, the whole CBS Golf family. Very, very special indeed.
It's been a great year, Jim.
And our travels have really taken us coast to coast. From 17-mile drive to the wispy fields of Wisconsin. We said our hellos to the champions. And sadly, our goodbyes to some great ones. We celebrated an ambassador that every other sport could only wish to have. And we saw the rebirth of careers and a glimpse of past greatness. At Memorial, we watched the ease and perfection of Ernie Els. And at the Masters, we watched with wonderment the majesty of Phil Mickelson. Did he really know the outcome before any of us saw it unfold? The green jacket perhaps never had a better fit than the one we saw in April. Then there was the stunning new site known as Whistling Straits, where VJ persevered and proved he is the champion player of the year. What a year it has been, and what a privilege it has been to watch it all unfold and to bring it to each and every one of you all season here on CBS. We will see you all next after the sunrise, my friends, in Phoenix, at the start of next season. And a special thanks to all the men and women out here, some 200 strong, who have the passion with every step out here covering golf, covering these tremendous sportsmen. It is indeed a great privilege to be a part of this team. And Lanny, I can hardly wait until we all gather again and get to go right back through the same circuit coast to coast.
I'm looking forward to it, Jim, and it's been a great experience for me being with such wonderful people out here, starting from the cameraman techs up through the producers and working with you guys day in, day out. It's been a lot of fun, and it's a great way for me to stay involved in a game that I've played and loved and enjoyed for over 30 years, and it's neat to be here.
Tim Herron's situation here is not good.
Well, he's got 149 yards, ball significantly below his feet in a pretty gnarly lie. That's the bad news. Good news is he does have a slight angle, so he can I think he can muscle this up there, and just depending on how it bounces on the front edge of the green landing, he can get it up flag high.
Yeah, that's all he really wants to do, Peter. Really, he knows it's going to come out slightly to the right from this lie, so he's probably aiming around the left edge of the green. He'd like to take that right front bunker out of play. Let it bounce somewhere around the front edge.
His only issue is if the grass catches this pitching wedge, it could yank it left.
Got the lean going.
Exactly what he was trying to do. Exactly what he was trying to do. If it a bit unlucky, it didn't release more up into the center part of the green, but that's the shot he was looking for.
I think you're right, Lanny. I was looking for the big hop there coming out of that thick rough. I thought maybe it might take one gallop toward the hole. It settled rather quickly, some 45 feet from the hole. Now Woody Austin.
Well, he's got 98 yards and on a little bit of a downslope here. We're going to have to worry about the first bounce. If it doesn't fly too far.
Woody doesn't hit it too high. This needs to be spinning.
Oh, it's stuck on him. It's a beautiful shot.
What a play by Woody.
You know, that interview that Peter had with Woody, he's always been a guy that it looks like he's, you know, a little edgy, a little nervous maybe at times. Would that be fair to say?
I think he's fiery more than anything else. I mean, he wants it almost too bad sometimes, but, you know, all of us that have played have never doubted his talent and his ability to, as a ball striker, he's as good as anyone out here.
I just thought that it was a magnanimous way of putting it when Peter talked to him about the bad break he had at 18. In fact, he was going on into a playoff with Tim Herron, who he had marched around today 18 holes already. And he said, you know, hey, I got a break. Let's not forget over at 17. You know, that's the kind of way it works.
Yeah, he was staying positive about it, Jim. And he's very much in control, was very composed in the interview. And I think that bodes well for him here in this playoff. The fact that he has not let his emotions get the best of him. Very calm and collected. A little bit unlike the Woody Austin we've seen in the past.
That's what I'm saying. I agree. He just seemed to shrug off a really horrid break on the final hole, and was going to just move on and let it go, which is always such an important part of this always menacing game. And Tim Herron's going to take a good long look at this. I want to say too that Arnold Palmer won this tournament twice in his career. I know you're, as soon as it ends here, heading to Detroit tonight, where there's a very special gathering for Arnold Palmer. And please give Arnold the best from everybody here and tell us what the occasion is.
Well, it's the 50th anniversary of his U.S. amateur win in Detroit, and there's over, I think, around 30 former U.S. amateur champions attending tonight, so it should be quite a gathering. Wonderful fundraiser. We're all playing a big dinner tonight and Pro-Am tomorrow.
Of course, Lanny, you were one of those 30 amateur winners, and this being the 50th anniversary of Arnold's U.S. amateur win, 1954. So, Tim Herron, last time he was putting on this green, left Woody muttering a bit, but to himself.
Yeah, now he just wants to hit a good solid putt. He'd like this to go in, obviously, with Woody being that close, but the one thing he can't do is run this by and just leave it completely wide open for Woody. He's got to make him work at that putt.
Kind of hung out to the right.
Yeah, he'd like to have hit it closer than that. In a way, this really gives Woody two chances to win right now. One through his own putt and one through Tim's putt.
Makes this putt maybe a little bit less pressured because you think maybe I can still win anyway.
In fact, they're actually going to call on the official to come up and decide who's away. They cannot tell it's that close.
Yeah, the one thing he definitely wanted to do is get it inside of Woody.
Mark Russell walking up, the PGA Tour staff, and he will settle this. Sure looks like Woody's a little outside of him, but
well, the angle's a little difficult to tell from here. He's pointing towards Woody's mark.
Yeah, be Woody first.
Kind of surprised he didn't take the flag stick and measure. You know, if it's that close and that important, I think it had to be very definite in Mark's mind that he could call it just by looking at it. Actually, Woody is calling him back right now, and they are going to take the flag stick and measure. Woody doesn't trust Mark's eyes.
If you're Woody, wouldn't you want to go first?
I wouldn't mind sitting there knowing I needed 2 putts to win. But at the same time, I mean, he's got to feel like he's going to, need to make it either way. And it is Tim Herron. Hello. Good call, Woody Austin.
Okay.
Quiet, please.
I was surprised they didn't take the flag stick the first time, Jimmy, quite honestly.
Well, they always do.
Yeah.
All right, so Herron had to bring out the chain gang, and he, by a chain link, is away here.
Ooh.
He saw a shadow behind him.
Back on off. You got to start your routine over here when he sees that. He did. Smart move there.
I'll tell you, that's a good putt. So much going on there to break concentration.
And you're involved in a playoff. You can't let little things bother you. You've got to stay focused. And it's cut and dry for Woody Austin.
Yeah, it's for the win.
Well, Tim Herron's putt it sort of alters Woody's putt now. I mean, it was right edge maybe, but now it's maybe just a little outside. Can't hit it quite as firm.
Very similar to what Corey Pavin had earlier, and is just on the right edge.
Doesn't waste any time. He's a winner. Woody Austin, 274 events since his last victory, and he is the champion here of the Buick Championship. Again tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes Cold Case. And tomorrow never dies. Again, for my man Lanny Watkins and the entire CBS Golf family, Jim Nantz saying so long from Hartford.
The network more people turn to for the best in sports television. The year-round leader is CBS Sports.
CSI New York, CBS Wednesdays this fall.
It's Toyota time, the nationwide clearance event, the year's biggest event. You've got to act now. This is the time to get an amazing value with 0% financing on the stylish Camry. Or choose $1,000 in cashback savings. Or lease Camry for just $199 a month for 36 months. One legendary classic. 3 ways to save. Toyota time. Selection, value, clearance, now.
Think about it. Casinos, dancing girls, swimming pools, surrounded by a sea of neon lights. We'll make millions, I tell you. What do you think?
I think you ought to stay out of the sun.
You never know when a golden opportunity will come your way, like the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Get your favorite Lexus vehicle at an incredible price.
A 24-hour drive-through chapel.
See your New York, New Jersey, Connecticut Lexus dealer.
Jets, Eagles, preseason football on CBS 2, Friday night at 7.
Day of protest. Tens of thousands of marchers rally in New York City to protest against President Bush and his policies. On his way to the convention, Mr. Bush is on the attack against his opponent. A Taliban bombing in Afghanistan targets Americans. And New York, New York. We'll tell you why it's a heck of a town.
This is the CBS Evening News. With Dan Rather reporting tonight from the Republican National Convention in New York.
Good evening from Madison Square Garden, where the convention officially opens tomorrow. A 4-day speakathon on behalf of President Bush and his renomination. Today, opponents of the president were having their say, more than 200,000 by police estimate, exercising their right to free speech and assembly outside the convention hall and along the streets of New York City. A lot of freedom and democracy going on this week, inside the garden and out. We begin outside with CBS's Jim Axelrod.
They marched all afternoon through Manhattan today. The line of protesters stretched more than 2 miles long. Just about every anti-Bush point of view was represented. Just about every way to communicate them employed. With one exception, little, if any, violence. So this all seems kind of peaceful.
It was supposed to be. This is a peaceful demonstration.
Maybe there never was much to the threat of mass unrest. Or maybe it was a massive police presence, the deterrence created by barricades, horses, and cops in riot gear.
I felt sorry for those cops who had to wear those helmets in this heat because, you know, they're out here because they're ordered to be, and they're not going to need the helmets. Nobody's going to, you know, be violent.
But at two potential flashpoints, when protesters had to make critical turns away from Central Park, where they originally wanted to gather, it could not have gone smoother.
They seemed very simple to me. Nobody seemed worried about that. Everybody was happy to turn and go in the direction that would keep the march going.
On the eve of the Republican convention in this heavily Democratic city, this one-sided day belonged to the president's opponents. Two-sided debate was hard to come by.
Of what?
In a hot and sticky New York City today, nearly everyone seemed to obey the call to play nice, updating an old standard. The whole world is watching.
Do you think that there's any risk, if you're trying to convince people of your point of view, of alienating undecided voters around the country?
There's always a risk, but I think to minimize that risk is exactly as you see here. Peaceful people staying on the streets, doing what they're told.
Now, at last count, the number of arrests was up somewhere near 135. The big fear for city officials today was that protesters would come here to Central Park in defiance of a court order and gather. That really hasn't happened in any significant numbers, although a television camera does have a way of attracting them. All things considered, when you think about what could have happened in New York today, it really was literally a walk in the park. Dan?
Jim Axelrod reporting live. Thanks. The protesters against Bush policies included many whose opposition to the war in Iraq is deeply personal. CBS's Jim Acosta talked to some of them today.
Among the voices rising up against President Bush were quiet stories of sorrow.
God bless you. God bless your son.
From people like Celeste Zappola.
At my son's funeral, I swore to him I will not be quiet.
Zappola's son, Sergeant Sherwood Baker, died serving the Pennsylvania National Guard in Iraq just 4 months ago.
He never gets to come back and say, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. There were no weapons of mass destruction. He never gets that chance.
She joined a small band of grieving relatives who carried the pictures of their sons and daughters, a message that stood out because it was so personal. The protest organizers placed these family members of fallen soldiers front and center in this demonstration. But the relatives say it's the war that put them in the spotlight. You feel like your son is with you right now?
Yes. I believe my son supports my activity.
Fernando Suarez del Solar joined the anti-war movement before the invasion of Iraq. His Marine son, Jesus, was killed days after the fighting started.
And now today here, the people say no more Bush in the White House, say end the occupation in Iraq. I paid the last price. I paid with my son's life.
Protest organizers deny pushing these families as props.
And we have a Democratic coalition, and they're part of the leadership.
Hardly a leader, more a foot soldier, Celeste Zappola came to turn her pain into power.
And then I see my grandson, and he says, I miss my dad.
She hopes America is listening. Jim Acosta, CBS News, New York. President Bush will be here in Madison Square Garden on Thursday. Till then, he's out campaigning and defending his decision to go to war with Iraq. But CBS's John Roberts reports the president now acknowledges he might have done things differently.
President Bush was in a fighting mood in West Virginia today, leveling no fewer than 9 attacks against John Kerry. From Kerry's vote against funding for the military in Iraq to what Mr. Bush called his opponent's shifting support for West Virginia coal.
He's out there mining for votes. All I'm asking you to do is tell your friends and neighbors, be careful of somebody whose position shifts in the wind.
But Mr. Bush himself seemed to shift position, now acknowledging shortfalls in planning for the Iraq war, telling Time magazine he would have pursued different tactics had he known that an enemy that should have surrendered or been done in escaped and lived to fight another day. The president termed it a consequence of catastrophic success.
I understand the president's now describing his Iraq policy as a catastrophic success. I, like most Americans, have no idea what that means. But it is long past time for this president to accept personal responsibilities for his failures and for his performance.
While the Iraq War remains a central campaign issue, a new shot is being fired in an old war. On a pro-Kerry website, Texas former lieutenant governor is saying on camera for the first time he helped George Bush escape duty in Vietnam.
I got a young man named George W. Bush in the National Guard when I was lieutenant governor of Texas, and I'm not necessarily proud of that, but I did it.
This new attack, though getting far less attention than the Swift Boat veterans' ads leveled at John Kerry, marks yet another escalation in the war of words over who would make the better commander-in-chief. Leadership may be a legitimate issue in this election, but, argues one prominent war hero, Vietnam has no place in the debate.
We need to honor these men for their service, and we ought to say that chapter is over, and we're never going to let it happen again.
There are pluses and minuses for both candidates in keeping the issue of Vietnam service alive, but with so many outside groups now jumping into the fray, the campaigns may have lost the ability to control that debate. Dan?
John Roberts, live from the convention floor. Thanks, John. Vice President Dick Cheney arrived in New York today, and he came right here to Madison Square Garden to check out the podium. Vice President Cheney will address the convention on Wednesday night. Still to come tonight, targeting American civilians in Afghanistan and inside the new hotspot of Iraq, when the CBS Evening News continues.
You can't turn back time, but you can take your own sweet time. Ask your doctor about Cialis, the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both work fast and work up to 36 hours. Men with ED and their partners agree that Cialis improves erectile function for a satisfying experience. Cialis lets you respond to your partner when the moment is right, just like you two want to. Cialis is only for men healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain or certain alpha blockers for prostate problems or high blood pressure, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. Erections lasting longer than 4 hours, though rare, require immediate medical help. Discuss your health status with your doctor and ask if Cialis is right for you. And take your own sweet time finding the right time. Cialis, when the moment is right, you can be ready.
It's a beautiful morning.
I was never one to sleep in. And even with my arthritis, I still look forward to going to school. The kids always ask me, Mrs. Shepard, how come we hardly ever have a substitute? And I say, you think there's a substitute for me?
Vioxx relieves arthritis pain, stiffness, and inflammation. Just one pill, once a day, can provide lasting 24-hour relief. So you can have nights with less pain and mornings with less stiffness. People with allergic reactions, such as asthma, to aspirin or other arthritis medicines should not take Vioxx. In rare cases, serious stomach problems, such as bleeding, can occur without warning. Tell your doctor if you've had liver or kidney disease, or a heart attack, angina, or a blocked artery in your heart. Ask your doctor about Vioxx for the relief of arthritis, pain, and stiffness. And find out if a free sample is right for you. Vioxx, for everyday victories.
Introducing the new richer taste of Maxwell House Original. You told us you wanted a richer coffee. We listened. Try the new taste of Maxwell House and make every day good to the last drop.
We know that Senokot, with its natural vegetable laxative ingredient, has been hard to find. Well, your wait is over. Senokot, with the laxative ingredient proven to be effective in 50 clinical studies, now in stores everywhere.
Your worst fall allergies are on their way.
Bring it on. We're Claritin Clear.
Claritin D relieves congestion, sinus pressure, itchy eyes.
Allergies won't get the best of me. Now, I'm Claritin Clear.
For the worst, get the most. Non-drowsy Claritin D. Nothing works stronger to relieve even your worst congestion without drowsiness. So at work, at play, you can breathe better. That's Claritin Clear.
There's clear, then there's Claritin Clear.
A U.S. security contractor was the target of a powerful and deadly car bombing in Afghanistan today. The blast in Kabul killed at least 7 people, including Americans. CBS's Lara Logan has the latest.
The bomber struck in the heart of downtown Kabul just before dark. The target, a building housing employees of an American security firm, DynCorp, that went up in flames. At least 2 Americans were among the dead. A Taliban spokesman quickly claimed responsibility for the remote-controlled blast that tore through walls and shattered windows. The injured poured into a nearby hospital where this man was among the victims being treated. He called those responsible enemies of the Afghan people. See what they have done, he said. Among the dead were an Afghan child and Nepalese guards, in addition to the American government contract workers. This attack comes the day after an explosion at a school in eastern Afghanistan that killed 9 children and 1 adult. Afghan and American officials say the violence is aimed at stopping Afghanistan's first democratic election, which is just weeks away. But over 90% of Afghans have registered to vote, undeterred by violence that has killed close to 1,000 people here in the past year. Laura Logan, CBS News, Afghanistan.
On the CBS Weather Watch, Tropical Storm Gaston blew ashore on the South Carolina coast with 60-mile-an-hour winds. The storm knocked out power for 125,000 people and flooded the region with more than 8 inches of rain. And Francis is now a Category 4 on a 5-scale hurricane. It could pose a dangerous threat to the U.S. mainland over the Labor Day weekend. Coming up now, that New York state of mind, what it means for America, when the CBS Evening News continues on the eve of the GOP convention.
Are you ready for more? Get up to $1,500 cash back on the Kia Sorento, up to $2,500 back on Sedona, or 0% financing on a Monte. More cash in your pocket, more car in your garage.
I love it when allergy medicines stop working, Pollen.
Yeah, Ragweed, his Tylenol severe allergy only lasted 6 hours. Same with her Benadryl allergy. His Allegra 180's still working.
It lasts 4 times longer.
One dose of most seasonal allergy medicines doesn't work as long as you want, but just one Allegra 180 lasts up to 4 times longer than most OTC allergy medicines.
His Allegra's still working.
For people 12 and over, side effects are low and may include headache, cold, or backache.
The L's in Allegra must stand for long-lasting.
Long-lasting Allegra. The relief goes on.
Everyone is talking about the new Oust fan.
This is my new best friend, the Oust fan.
And it's nice that it's running when I don't have to think about it.
And it just makes the whole room smell fresh. There's no wires, there's no gadget. All there is a little on button.
Eliminates odor in the air, even from odor-causing bacteria. This whole room reeked of wet dog. The Oust fan takes care of all the odors.
Get odors out with the new Oust fan. S.E. Johnson, a family company.
The Oust fan works continuously.
Fight ravaging rain, scorching sun, and wind with Thompson's Water Seal Advanced. Special technology allows it to penetrate deep to seal out 99% of the water right from the start. Thompson's Water Seal Advanced, the most powerful water protection guaranteed. Now available at the Home Depot.
Got gas, pressure, bloating? Tums doesn't treat gas, neither does Pepto-Bismol. To treat gas, use Gas X for fast, powerful relief.
Popcorn?
Ooh. Gas X beats the bloat, and acids don't.
Something new is in the air. New Febreze Air Effects. It seeks out and eliminates odors in the air. So it feels clean with a breezy scent of spring.
Do it again.
New Febreze Air Effects. It's that fresh.
Are you ready for more? Get up to $1,500 cash back on the Kia Sorento, up to $2,500 back on Sedona, or 0% financing on a Monte. More cash in your pocket, more car in your garage.
What takes place here in New York City has a profound effect on the entire nation, for better or some would say for worse. Few cities in the world invoke the same degree of both love and loathing. That's tonight's Weekend Journal. New Yorkers' unconventional relationship with each other and the nation.
Everything happens here before it happens anyplace else.
Life in New York has always moved to a different rhythm.
When you walk down the street, you feel like anything can happen.
We bring out strong emotions. There's no question about it.
And no apology. Unlike Boston, site of that other convention, New York never intended to be a shining city on the hill.
New York's reason for being is capitalism. It is about making money.
So it doesn't have the high and mighty and noble aura of much of our founding fathers' mythologies.
The reality is a freewheeling marketplace where life and business is a ruthless competition. Only the strong and best survive. Hip-hop pioneer Russell Simmons.
You know, there's a factor of honesty and integrity, I think, that comes out of New York, and truthfulness that really affects the world in a very profound way.
Immigrants provide the energy for New York's power. Irving Berlin and John Lennon were among the millions who've come and conquered. The city's promise also draws Americans yearning for something more, be they Louis Armstrong or Madonna.
New York has been a magnet for mavericks, leaders, misfits, geniuses, and other people who really stick out in other parts of the country.
In a town with 4 daily newspapers and a half-dozen TV stations, personal dramas like the divorce of a mayor or mogul are all played out in public. But sheer numbers allow the famous, from Jackie Onassis to Greta Garbo, to hide in plain sight.
New York City is a place that really values excellence.
The relentless drive for success comes with more than a fair share of moral ambiguity. Excess abounds, and that drives many people around the country crazy. Former Mayor Ed Koch.
I remember when Goldwater ran for president in 1964, he said, why don't you saw off the eastern seaboard, he really meant New York City, and ship it back to Europe.
Despite such disdain, cultural movements routinely sprout from the city's sidewalks. From the Harlem Renaissance to rap, the city's music, art, and fashion stitch themselves into the fabric of our society.
Why do rich kids in Beverly Hills love to hear the songs of kids in Harlem who are struggling? Because they can feel the authenticity.
The hard truth is, New York is a hard place to live. But despite differences, commuters, cab drivers, and Carrie Bradshaw all share a common philosophy, says her alter ego, Candace Bushnell.
We're just used to life always not being easy and hanging in there and always thinking, well, you know what? Maybe tomorrow's going to be better.
That optimism has sustained the city through 4 centuries of triumph and troubles. New York may not be America, but it remains all that is America.
What New York is about a certain potentiality. In that sense, that's what America is about for the world.
Next, deserted on a very crowded island, as the CBS Evening News rolls on from New York and the Republican National Convention.
That's me with his whole family.
So you on a farm?
Yeah, imagine with my allergies.
Go where you wanna go, do what you want.
This is Trisha.
There's a different way to treat seasonal allergies. Singulair, the only seasonal allergy medicine that specifically blocks leukotrienes, an underlying cause of allergy symptoms. It's a once-a-day tablet that helps relieve a broad range of symptoms for a full 24 hours.
Yeah.
Side effects are generally mild and vary by age and may include headache, ear infection, sore throat, and upper respiratory infection. Ask your doctor about Singulair.
Morning.
Good morning. You know, I think I did just fine.
Singulair, a different way to treat seasonal allergies.
Got an itch? Scratching tears up skin. Maximum Strength Lenicaine saves your skin from scratching with maximum anti-itch medicine and antibacterial to help kill germs. Lenicaine stops the itch, saves your skin.
Remember that guy who used to be called Wild Thing? Yeah, that guy. He's back. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Jay Bush and Duke here to introduce Bush's Baked Beans in our new microwavable cup. Now you can enjoy our delicious beans anywhere there's a microwave. Roll that beautiful bean footage. They're slow cooked according to a secret family recipe with specially cured bacon, brown sugar, and a delicate blend of spices. I've only shared Bush's secret family recipe with Duke, and he's not talking. Boy, these people sure are friendly.
Yeah, friendly.
Enjoy Bush's Baked Beans, now in our new microwavable cup.
Hey, girl. Hey, you got any hand lotion? Nope, don't use it anymore. But you can do my dishes. Huh? Me? You? Dishes? No, really, feel that. From this, vitamins? All right.
Dawn Complete actually makes your hands look and feel better.
How's it going?
And like original Dawn, it's great on tough grease.
Wow, thank you. Oh, no, thank you.
Removes grease, improves hands. Dawn Complete. Get Dawn and get done.
On this, the island of Manhattan, only 77,000 people voted for George Bush in 2000. In some places, that's a lot of votes. But here, as Sharon Alfonsi explains, if you're a Republican, it in some ways makes it a lonely place to be.
In New York these days, smokers are a minority, outnumbered 5-1 by non-smokers, pushed out to the street by some of the country's toughest anti-smoking laws, making them feel like pariahs.
As someone who voted for Bush, I feel like a smoker. I feel ostracized. And I'm ostracized so everyone else's mental health can be improved.
Greg David is a rare species, a Republican on an island full of Democrats.
Do you think many people in Manhattan are a fan of George W. Bush? I'm sure there are some. Have you met any? Not yet.
Consider Zabar's, a food emporium on the Upper West Side. You can find just about anything here.
Cranberry pecan.
Except a Republican.
This isn't Bush country?
No, this is Democratic country.
Which may be why when David, a journalist, came out of the Bush closet in a column this month, his co-workers and 16-year-old daughter treated him like a traitor.
And she just looked at me and said, "How could you do that? How could you vote for him?"
It's the question just about everyone asks him. That is, if he talks about it, and he usually doesn't.
And I don't actually think the debate is spirited. I think it's bitter.
Bitter? New Yorkers? Never.
I feel that this is the most disgraceful administration ever, and I've been here for 90 years, so please, I don't want to say any more.
Neither does Greg David, who, like this smoker, has decided instead to stand quietly behind his Bush.
I just don't discuss politics.
Because in this city, sometimes it really is just better not to talk politics, especially if you're the elephant in the room. Sharon Alfonsi, CBS News, New York.
And that's part of our world tonight. Don't forget 60 Minutes, still ahead and straight ahead. And there'll be more from the Republican convention first thing tomorrow on CBS's The Early Show. And, of course, we'll be back with more on tomorrow night's CBS Evening News. For now, Dan Rather, CBS News, reporting tonight from New York. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, click on CBSNews.com. Brought to you in part by Walmart, bringing your community jobs, low prices, and support for neighborhood programs. Experience CBS News.
Just ahead, a sea of protesters, tens of thousands of demonstrators take to the streets in a massive march against the war and President Bush.
The mostly peaceful protest did have clashes between demonstrators and police. Some of them we caught on tape.
And a salute to Broadway as the Big Apple welcomes the GOP delegates to the Great White Way. Those stories next.
Day one of the RNC in NYC. Monday, stay with CBS 2 News as events unfold. Then after a special 9 p.m. episode of CSI Miami, join us at 10 p.m. for live coverage as Rudy Giuliani takes center stage. CBS 2 is your convention headquarters.
Monday morning, an inside look at the Latin Grammys. Linda Lopez has an exclusive sneak peek. Then the Republican convention, what hospitals are doing to prepare for emergencies.
Also, more weather, more traffic, and half the commercials. CBS 2 News this morning.
This is the one sales event you've been waiting for. The Ford Authorized Clearance. The one chance to get the best deals on the best-selling trucks in America. Like the new Ford F-150, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year. Now only $299 a month. That's $299 a month for a well-equipped Ford F-150 XLT Super Cab 4x4 with just $375 down. This is the one sales event you don't want to miss. The Ford Authorized Clearance. This is the one.
This is CBS 2 News at 6:30.
A massive protest on the streets of Manhattan ends with several hundred demonstrators you see there in a live picture gathering in Central Park right now. Good evening. I'm Todd McDermott.
I'm Mary Calvi. It was a peaceful rally for the most part with scattered problems. The march, organized by the group United for Peace and Justice, began in Chelsea and made its way past Madison Square Garden, the site of the Republican convention. Attendance estimates range from 100,000 to more than 300,000 people.
Along with signs and banners, hundreds of people carried mock coffins draped with the American flag. Each of those coffins symbolizing an American life lost in the war in Iraq.
Protesters did get into a shoving match with police at 34th Street and 7th Avenue after someone lit a fire along the protest route. So far, the NYPD reports 134 arrests.
CBS 2 has a team of reporters covering all of today's events. David Diaz, Cheryl Fiandaca following the protesters along the rally route. Lou Young is in Central Park. Going to begin this evening with David Diaz live in Union Square with more on today's march. David?
Yes, Todd. In fact, the very last remnants of that march are in Union Square Park, where this demonstration ended. Now, police unofficially put the estimate as between 120 and 140,000 people, but rally organizers say the number was closer to 400,000. In any case, whatever the actual number, the size of this will definitely stay, regardless of any other demonstrations, as the largest in connection with this convention. There was a festive air about much of this massive protest, but the signs the marchers carried spoke in strong and damning terms of their feelings about the war in Iraq, the president, and his administration. At least 100 protesters carried mock coffins draped in American flags. The father of a soldier killed in Iraq gave voice to a widespread feeling even before the march got underway.
I pay with my son's life for coming here today and say, Bush lie and who die? My son!
The coalition's leaders stepped out on what they called a historic march, along with celebrities like filmmaker Michael Moore and actor Danny Glover. A phalanx of police 5 deep and others on horseback were deployed along 34th Street to prevent those with other plans from carrying them out. And just north of there, 53 bikers were arrested. There was a fire along the march route, and a minor scuffle broke out when right-wing activists jumped into the march. But thousands upon thousands kept marching, determined not to let anything deter them from making their statements.
We're out here to protest against the war and just to let George Bush know that we're against it.
And I think everything we're doing has been so terribly wrong. Our country really has to get its conscience back.
I'm here because our national security is severely threatened by the fact that no one believes what America says anymore.
The protests headed back downtown via 5th Avenue, but by then its ranks were significantly thin. Okay, now police are saying that they arrested a total of 134 people for actions related to today's protest. 9 were charged with felony assault on a police officer who was trying to arrest one of the demonstrators who allegedly set a fire along the march route. One officer was taken to the hospital after being struck in the eye, and police report 12 minor injuries to demonstrators. We're live in Union Square. David Diaz, CBS 2 News. Mary?
David, thank you. For the most part, the crowd was peaceful, but there was one group that clashed with police. CBS 2's Cheryl Fiandaca is live near the garden with that part of the protest. Cheryl.
Well, that's right, Mary. There was one small scuffle here. Police, though, showed enormous restraint during what was a very, very tense situation. Several people were arrested, but the police had it all under control within minutes, and the march actually continued. It started with a smoky fire and within minutes escalated into a massive show of police force, which resulted in several arrests.
There was a dragon, they lit the dragon on fire.
It wasn't any of the peace people, it was just a bunch of they're out here making trouble on purpose.
The world was watching through the eyes of both professional and amateur photographers, including a police videographer. all capturing the moment. Police officers in riot gear ready to use pepper spray, pushing the surging crowd back.
Get them all, please. Clear the intersection. The police, they acted in a very organized, large-scale fashion. It was very scary, but they didn't really, I'd say, commit any acts of really overt violence, and they controlled things, but it seemed like they didn't get out of hand.
But it nearly did get out of hand when police discovered ball bearings and smoke bombs hidden in cylinders of some protesters' signs. This while golf balls were being thrown on the pavement in an effort to trip the horses.
There have been no problems, though. This is the only problem we've had all day.
Well, police will have their work cut out for them this week. There are many more protests and marches planned for this week, both planned and unplanned. Reporting live from Midtown, I'm Cheryl Fiandaca, CBS 2 News. Mary?
Cheryl, thank you. Breaking news on Long Island. A helicopter has crashed in Long Island Sound. This happened just a short time ago off Crab Meadow Beach in Northport. Again, a chopper crash off the waters of Long Island. No word on injuries. CBS 2 has a crew on the way to the scene. We will bring you the latest as soon as it is available. Todd.
Now back to the protests of the day. Even though today's demonstration ended at Union Square, hundreds of people who took part made their way to the Great Lawn, where march organizers were denied a permit to hold a rally. Our CBS 2 team coverage continues with Lou Young live in Central Park. Lou?
It's a beautiful afternoon here, too. The park is always crowded and festive on a summer Sunday, but today there's also crackling with political energy. There's a political edge to it. The organizer of today's march, take a look. She came herself to the Great Lawn about an hour ago, not to make speeches because this isn't a rally, but to show the flag, so to speak, and declare the UPJ event that she helped organize successful and bigger than she had even hoped.
As terrific as this day was and is, our work is far from over. And we're going to continue. We're going to take the energy and the spirit and the hope and optimism of today and bring it back to our neighborhoods, back to our cities and towns.
Until about 4 o'clock, the Great Lawn looked like any other Sunday in the park, but with more signs, TV cameras, and political discussions than usual.
So Saddam Hussein protecting
But as more marchers arrived from downtown, it started to look like the rally the city wouldn't issue a permit for. The crowd continued to grow, even as softball games proceeded nearby. In a way, it's not one big rally here at the park, but many small ones, each with a different take, all motivated by the impending presence of the Republicans at the Garden.
As a citizen of the United States, I'm here to fire George W. Bush.
I think it's important to be here. I think that too many rights are being violated for everybody, and I think it's time for change.
I wanted to be on the Great Lawn that the mayor said that we didn't want, but he didn't want us on it. I just wanted to come out to see change.
Live now back on the Great Lawn, you see some of the folks here who continue to show their banners and make their political statements here as the sun starts to go down. Police were here, but not in overwhelming force, and some of the police officers were dressed as protesters. We confirmed that, and there were a number of them with the protesters. Things went pretty smooth, subdued today. The only harsh word that I witnessed was a protester critiquing the performance of a softball player rather harshly from the crowd. We're live on the Great Lawn. Lou Young, CBS 2 News.
And Lou, while protesters marched, Vice President Dick Cheney flew into town for a photo op on Ellis Island. And less than an hour ago, Mr. Cheney was at the Garden to check out the stage. Our political reporter Andrew Kurtzman joins us live from inside Madison Square Garden. Andrew.
Well, Mary, inside the Garden here tonight, they're preparing for tomorrow morning's session. They kicked things off earlier today, and in doing so, they provided a hint of how they plan to handle the most delicate issue of them all. Not long after their boat pulled into Ellis Island, Dick Cheney, Rudy Giuliani, and George Pataki let it be known they won't be shy about invoking the September 11th tragedy. Giuliani sounded the theme first, alluding to the nearly 3,000 people who died at the World Trade Center.
So throughout this